Hello, I'm Benwin Bronzebottom, celebrity dwarf and video game enthusiast, and this is my sidekick, Crowy.
Hello.
Quiet, you. I'm here to tell everyone about Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. It's a Dungeons & Dragons-based strategy game from Codename Entertainment.
It's a management game with an emphasis on formation strategy, where you assemble parties of legendary heroes and send them on adventures through the Forgotten Realms.
Heroes? Crowy, don't you mean champions?
Players unlock legendary champions of the Forgotten Realms, like Dritz Duerden and the Companions of the Hall, Farida and Havilar from the Brimstone Angels saga, and many more. Assemble the best adventuring party possible based on your formation options, champion abilities, and the obstacles and enemies you face.
Or just smash your mouse button repeatedly like I do and hope for the best.
Each champion has an incredible array of skills and items to let you customize your style and play even further.
Farther. Farther means more distant, further is figurative.
Well, I meant more distant, but figuratively.
That's forther.
Well, customize your style even further, because Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is available on all your favorite gaming platforms. Steam for PC and Mac, Web, Epic Game Store, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch, iOS tablets, and Android devices.
Well, let me know when it comes to the BlackBerry. I'm not giving up that phone. It's the only keyboard I can use.
I hear it's coming to the smart fridge next spring.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of Gax Pack. I am your GM for today, Eric Campbell, and I am conquered after viciously pile driving, clotheslining, and then RKOing Jason Charles Miller. He is letting his neck and his voice rest. He will be back next week, in which I'm sure he will enact terrible vengeance upon me, and it'll still be worth it because I know how to take a fall. So. Welcome to this episode of Gax Pack. We also have a very special guest with us today. Two, in fact. We have one, Sam Justice Lev. Hello, Sam. How you doing? And then we have one. Hold on, I have your name here. Luke Gigix is what I have written down.
Yeah, it rhymes with buybacks. That's how it's
buybacks.
I thought it was good gax. I thought the emphasis was on the second syllable. Oh, okay,
right. So today we're doing a one-shot, and it's going to be a little bit of difference of a game. It's going to be completely off base. It's not going to be as out there as our Gax Pack standard game. This, well, I'm going to let this game speak for itself, but I think you're all in for a treat. Today, we are following the lives of a fallen thieves guild. And when I say fallen, I mean freshly fallen. It's only been about 48 hours since everything came apart. A guild that's been running the streets of Waterdeep for over 20 years has all completely collapsed in just 48 hours. And the players you are looking at today are the ones who are playing the survivors of that guild, who are trying to figure out what the hell happened and who's responsible. So, to keep it simple, we're going to just go down the list and have you guys introduce yourselves, who you are playing, and give a brief description of who your character is. And I'm going to start with Sam DeLev. Sam, tell us who Juniper is.
Yes, Juniper is an elf, a druid, a city druid. We are all of us in the gutters, but Juniper occasionally is looking at the stars. They're an elf, and they'd like to think that they're kind of put together. Oh, that's a pigeon feather. They're very put together. Yes.
They sound very put together. Yeah. Excellent. All right, Adriana, I know you came up with the name. Last minute name. What did we get? What did we end up with?
I'm playing as Mara. She is a Goliath cleric of the life divinity. Just, never played a cleric before. Just bear with me. Yes, and she's very soft-spoken, kind of like keeps to herself, but she's very, very honorable for our background, our character's background, and loyal as well.
Okay. I love that you're playing a Goliath in a Thieves Guild. It just reminds me of Conan, when Conan was a thief very briefly. Let's see, B-Dave. Tell us about Haddix. I believe you were playing a very soft boy, like you're doing something a little different. You're being like, yeah.
A thinker, a cuddler, No, it's not any of those things unless the cuddle is the garrote around someone's neck. Yes, Haddix is a bugbear gloomstalker assassin rogue. He's the one you call when somebody needs to go missing.
Like you do.
Like one does.
As one does. Nice. Patience. Elisa Pearl, tell us about Patience.
Yes, I'm Elisa Pearl. I'm playing Patience Tempestborn, who is a half-orc barbarian. She's kind of into like the darkness and, just like, why do things have to be so serious all the time? Like, whatever, let's just smash stuff.
This is the right
and then
game.
Steal it.
This is the right game for that character. Yeah.
Smash and grab.
Okay.
All right. Very good. And then you're gonna have to help me, Luke. How do you pronounce your character's name? Is it Druge?
His name is Druge.
Druge.
And he's a Loxodon. But he is a styling, high-profiling, gold necklace wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing son of a gun.
Wait, is he having a hard time holding these gators down?
He is. So he has a kind of a mixed background. He was a failed merchant, into jewelry and those sorts of things. Family fell on hard times when his father became, unfortunately, was unable to continue work. May have had something to do with, Druge cheating somebody and his dad taking the fall for that. So he kind of ran the company into the ground. Did a little mercenarying for a bit, and then decided, well, you know what? I think this rogue life and be able to kind of lift a few things would work out pretty well. So he joined the Coppers, almost a decade ago, and has worked his way up.
Nice.
But he's huge. He's 7'5" and like 320 pounds. So he is not particularly. You wouldn't imagine that he'd be particularly stealthy.
He's a wide boy.
He's a big boy. He's an elephant. He's gray skin, golden kind of eyeballs, little tiny tusks that stick out. But nice robes though, very very stylish. Dresses fancy. Does have some gold chains on.
So right when I was kind of giggling at the idea of Adriana playing a Goliath, here comes like Babar on
Murder Babar.
Murder Babar.
Yes.
It's Babar.
Babar.
Sorry.
Druge Babar.
Sorry, yes.
Druge Babar. That's his name now. All right.
All right. So I'm basically, what I'm going to do to kick things off is I'm basically going to read to the audience sort of the premise that I gave all of you so that everyone knows what's up, what your situation is, and how messed up it is. So it goes a little something like this. Our game begins early morning in Waterdeep. You may have heard of this town. Population, roughly 2 million people live in Waterdeep. Waterdeep was built in 1302 DR by Dale Reckoning, and it is a town of vast multicultures. This is the melting pot of the Forgotten Realms. It is ruled, of course, by the famous Lords of Waterdeep. The Lords Alliance has a presence here as well. Imports are grain, livestock, leather ore, timber, exotic goods. The exports are ale, arms, cloth, furnishings, leather goods, pottery, refined metals, and just about anything else that you're probably not supposed to be able to get your hands on. A city this size is going to boast quite a healthy Thieves Guild population. And there are some pretty successful Thieves Guild, one in particular known to be the best. However, the ones that you don't hear about are the ones that we are focusing on today, because Waterdeep is a large city filled with the wards, the Trade Ward, the North Ward, the Sea Ward, the City of the Dead, where most of the graveyards are. It is an entire ecosystem unto itself. There are hundreds of little guilds all over Waterdeep. Some of them could be considered subsidiaries to some of the larger guilds, paying tribute where they need to in order to survive. But there's plenty of them that answer to nobody and just try to make their own way. They show respect and they honor a code that kind of has inadvertently developed among the streets of Waterguild. minding territory, and making sure that no one crosses anybody else's paths, lest there be a Thieves Guild war and the City Watch get involved. That's where things get rough. You were all members of a guild called the Coppers. It was a name that you kind of all bore very proudly because the Coppers was an insult that was once thrown at the name of your guild that kind of just became the name of the guild. You guys were proud of the fact that you were small time. You boasted maybe 40 members. You didn't really have any big pulls. Lots of pickpockets, lots of swindling, but nothing too extravagant. But it was enough that you all got by, and no one could question the loyalty and support you got from the other members. The Coppers, yeah, it had its moments that weren't so swell. I mean, that's a Thieves Guild for you. But the Coppers were a family, 40 members strong. You guys looked out for each other. Most of the members of the Coppers grew up within the Coppers. So we're talking people that started out as children and grew up into their 20s. The guild was around for about 20 years. So you had some of the founders still making way and trying to clear the path for the newcomers that are coming up into the guild to this very day. Well, all that's over now. All of it. Most of the other organizations never took you guys seriously. And then 3 nights ago, when it all fell apart, you were all left questioning how it could have happened. You had just started to make some headway. The Coppers had just started landing big scores. You guys were just starting to make a name for yourself. For the first time in 20 years, the ecosystem was changing a little bit. You guys were based in the South Ward, near the Dock Ward. And that's where a lot of the Thieves Guild like to kind of hang out in Waterdeep. It's a good place to go. You get newcomers coming in, you get a lot of trades. Anytime that there's any kind of smuggling going on from the docks, you guys could get at least a little piece of that action before everybody else fell upon it like vultures. Y'all were finally making some headway. And then in just 24 hours, tip-offs and murders, safe houses that you guys had established across the South Wards were either kicked in, the doors were kicked in by City Watch, or your members vanished. A few reports you guys have found out in the past 48 hours is that there have been some deaths. It took a single day for the entire 40 group Thieves Guild to fall apart. All your safe houses have been compromised, and the main headquarters, which was located in the South Ward, has been completely burned down, which that unto itself is notable because a fire in Waterdeep is a big deal. Just like a fire in London. If they could just cast Create Water, it wouldn't have been such a big deal in London. In this case, a fire makes a lot of noise in Waterdeep. Your original safe house is completely gone. And the only people left are you guys and one of the older lieutenants, one of the first members of the Coppers, a gnome rogue named Smidgen. He's a senior member of the guild. And Smidgen recruited many of you into this guild when nobody else would. Who was going to take Caloxidon? What are you going to do? You stand out. There's like 70 Loxodon in a city of 2 million people. Like, how are you going to help the Thieves Guild? Smidgen was the one that would take you in and give you a place and found uses for all of you. Many of you who probably wouldn't have fit in as cutthroats or cut purses found your role as enforcer to come quite handy. And some of you even found you can make a couple of coins using some of your arcane or divine magics that you have gotten from the attention of the gods, or perhaps your studies in magic, to give you the skills in order to swindle the right people, or sometimes even provide legitimate service at an exorbitant price. But hey, where else are you going to find, say, a druid of the stars in the South Ward? So Smidgen took chances on all of you. And now he's the only reason you're all alive right now. With the safe houses burned down, he knew where each one of you was and was able to come and gather everyone up. Y'all laid low for about 24 hours to find out if you could find any more. You're it. This is done. Right now, you are all in a safe house in the trade ward. Smidgen called in a big favor that was owed to him by one of the merchants in the trade ward. You guys have about 3 days before you have to clear out. There's been a lot of discussion. Revenge, find out who did this. Are we still wanted? Are our lives forfeit? Are you being hunted? Or was this just a hit on the guild and they're moving on? Maybe it's time to leave Waterdeep. But to leave Waterdeep is to go where? Y'all aren't adventurers. You've grown up your entire lives or spent the past decade here on the streets of Waterdeep. This is your home. And an unknown enemy has dared to destroy everything you have all known and try to run you out of town. We open our game now in the trade ward. You're on the 3rd floor of a large house that houses both merchants that are selling their wares on the 1st floor. The 2nd floor is sort of the warehouse. The 3rd floor is kind of the attic. This place has a single window, causing a shaft of light to beam in through that window, and it's the only illumination in the room. You guys have been it's cramped in the space, for one, but it's even more anxiety inducing every time your Loxodon friend stands up and moves across the room and you hear these ancient boards going creaking under the weight of the Goliath and the Loxodon who pace from time to time. We're going to start off in just that quiet moment. You are all waiting right now for Smidge. The moment Smidgen comes back, apparently he has a plan. He's been trying to figure out if he can get out of Waterdeep. He's went out to try to call in his last favors to see if he can get you all smuggled out of the city. From there, do you stay together or go your separate ways is the big question. He's been gone for about 2 hours. You were told to be concerned when he has gone 3. So right now, everything's okay. But you can hear the business is going on downstairs. You can hear the transactions happening, the coins jingling. And what's even more infuriating is every time you look out the window, you see Waterdeep being Waterdeep as it always has been. The day passing by, people walking past the window on the streets 60 feet below. Nobody has any idea who the coppers were. No one has any idea that the people that you once knew as a family were gone. Waterdeep doesn't care. It never has. And that's why the coppers were so important to you. And once again, for the first time in a while, without your Thieves Guild, you're looking down at the cold, unfeeling, uncaring streets of this great city. And even though you're all up in this attic together, there's this impending shadow that in just a few hours, for the first time in a long time, you all might be alone again. And that's where we begin. In an awkward silence that's just fallen on all of you as you're waiting for Smidgen to return. Also, we already have 2 fate points. So this is an audience that wants to see you guys kick ass and take names. So as a quick reminder to everybody, as I'm setting them loose to do the role play, just so you all know, for every 3,000 bits we get, that gets a fate point for the group. And a fate point allows them a reroll, which is a nice little juicy thing to do when you get those natural ones, because we don't have Thanato to help us save us from our natural ones. So
True.
All right.
The out of the darkness is far removed from this space, from that beam of light as it can possibly get. You don't see anything, but you just hear, no matter what Smidge says, someone must pay for this. You know that, right?
There's
Nobody
a lot of-
crosses Druge. I'm with you.
Is
They
revenge
need to-
really the wisest option right now, Haddix?
Yes.
Look at us. There's only us left.
Whether
Who are
it's
we
the
gonna take on?
wisest or not, it's the one that needs doing if we're going to stay here. Juniper is posted up in the rafters right by the beam of light, looking out the window. Nervous lookout, always.
Keeping an eye on the
And they
streets.
have their assistant lookout on their shoulder heads.
Okay.
Their pet mouse.
Mara's just sitting in the corner on this, the biggest chair she could find, trying not to move because she is very nervous too, getting found out, making too much noise. You make good points.
But like, what's even the meaning of revenge? You know, like revenge, like What was venged in the first place? And if
They
we
venged on
revenge
us.
it,
They
if we-
venged on the coppers, and now we're here.
so if we revenge, then we're just as bad as them.
No, because we're not out there
personally-
venging. We're just venging back.
We're even worse because we're revenging.
I'm
Just think about it for a second.
very comfortable with being worse.
Like, just think about like the afterlife. Like, what kind of life do I want to lead while I'm here, you know? I don't know. Whatever. I'm cool if we just like go and smash people. But I'm not cool with revenge. Just smashing.
No revenge, only smash.
Yeah. Killing is fine too. I'm just not cool with the word revenge right now. I'm just not comfortable with it.
Call
Yeah.
it whatever you want, Patience, as long as the deed gets done.
Can we venge?
I mean, it's not as bad as revenging, so maybe.
How about avenge while we're shopping through words?
Is that like a single time, a single instance of avenge? Like
Unless
revenge?
there may be multiple targets, but a single inciting incident, yes.
I'm gonna have to think about that. I don't know.
We're all gonna die.
Patience
That's what
just
Mara's here for.
stares out the window and is
Another-
silent for a while.
Okay. Yeah, so the time does stretch on uncomfortably long.
I'll continue pacing. I don't like waiting.
Okay.
Mara nervously glances at Druge, just pacing around, creaking the floorboards. Just
Yeah, downstairs. Downstairs is definitely there's probably you got elephants up there. Like there's definitely
It's the moment I hear that,
Morning.
I just kept past without a trace. Like I don't say anything, just out of the shadows, he just stops squeaking. Like,
okay. So the place becomes eerily quiet as the Loxodon just continues to pace back and forth. However, even within the confines of the space, it doesn't take you long before you hear the coded knock at the door that leads from the second floor to the third floor. There's a widened staircase that goes all the way down, wide enough to bring up goods that need to be stored up here that maybe the Merchants Guild doesn't want the City Watch to know about, and which is handy when you have large people in your party. In this case, though, you can hear a small fist knocking against the wooden door, the staircase. It's the code that Smidgen let you know was him. So a few moments pass before the knock stops. And then there's a beat. You hear the door open up and then slide close quietly. And then the quick patter of the gnome running up the steps. Smidge is, I mean, Smidge is a gnome. Smidgen is a gnome that looks hardened. He has a couple of scars on his face. One of them gives him a slight grin on the right side of his face. He has just gotten into every kind of tussle. It hasn't been unusual. You know for a fact that the scar on the right side of his face that gives him the grin, which by the way gave him his nickname, which is Grins. You know this scar that gave him that was because he's taken multiple bottles to the face in bar fights. Smidgen has been one of your closest confidants and was one of the chief lieutenants of the guild. When he comes upstairs, you're expecting to see the urgency of, okay, I found a place, let's go. But instead, what you see is he runs up to the top of the stairs and regards all of you. He's in full his leather armors. He's got his pouches at his side. His hair is shaved on both sides and pulled back into a tight top knot. And he has a satchel in one hand, a very large one, about the size of his torso that he's kind of flexing to carry. In the other hand, he has a scroll, and he goes, oh, I got them. I got them. Oh, yeah. Make room, make room, make room. Gather around, but make room, but gather around. And then as he moves forward, he goes, was someone casting magic in here?
maybe.
All right. Doesn't matter. All right. Look what I found. And he rolls out this scroll on the ground. You see the streets of Waterdeep, and you see a couple of like X's and dots. But what's more important is you see what looks like a smaller map that's rolled inside of the scroll of what looks like some kind of compound. He kind of pushes it aside and he goes, Dock Daggers.
Doc what?
Dock Daggers. That's the guild that got us.
Oh.
Overheard it. I was going to meet my contact at one of the at the Copper Cup down in the South Ward, and heard someone having a conversation with his mate. Got a little close as a do, talking about us. Turns out people are bragging right now. They muscled us out, trying to win favor with someone, some big job that they're doing. I don't know, lots of stuff to unfold. Found out who did it. Dark Daggers did us in. So followed the bastard into the alleyway. You know, early morning, he's going to go take a piss in the alley. I'm a gnome. I meet the right height requirements. I got a knife. Got him into a bit of an uncomfortable situation while he was trying to relieve himself, let's say. And moments later, spills the beans, tells me everything. Dock Daggers did this. And this, and he holds up the scroll, the bastard was small time stupid, carries a map on him. So, this are their routes, and this is the hideout. And he holds up this little map. Now get this, because he wouldn't stop talking once I put some steel next to his precious bits. Turns out, there's a big score going on. Whoever their leader is got a big score. He's about to deliver it to someone important. Don't know who, but did also get him to tell me another piece of information. Turns out, holds up the map inside. You see this little thing right here? And he points to a dot at the very corner of this little map. He goes, teleportation circle in the very back of the hideout. They've got it set up to go somewhere. Don't know. So here's what I'm thinking. We need to figure something out in 24 hours, right? Either we're leaving or we're killing someone. So I think maybe, just maybe, we kill someone and go into that hideout to do it, make a little chaos, grab a few things, maybe snag that little prize that they got for themselves, avenge ourselves on our brothers, sisters, and so on, and then take that teleportation circle and just beam right out of there. Don't even have to leave through the front door. Don't know where it goes, but listen, there's no way that teleportation circle doesn't go to a safe house. There's no other reason to have it. So, what you think? It's good.
It's only fair.
Just one quick question. I assume you left that person in such a state they weren't going to be alerting anyone of our arrival, right?
Oh, no, they're fine. They're fine. You know, no joke, regeneration doesn't cost that much gold, turns out. It's a simple spell, as it turns out. You find some people in Waterdeep. I had an aunt who knew the regeneration spell. Nothing to worry about. He'll be fine. He's learned the value of not corrupting our public streets with his filth. Let's put it that way. Perfect service done for Waterdeep. Anyway.
Well, you already had me at revenge, but if we can get in there, hurt some people, and possibly profit as well, of course, I'm in.
That's
I'm
good.
in as
We're
well.
going to need all of us. Are you in, my
Yes.
Goliath friend? Yeah? All right, Patience, look, I know you don't like this kind of thing, but we could really use you. And also, I spent my time doing this, so I don't have a way out of Waterdeep. Sorry.
I just want to like inflict pain and get some type of like treasure or cash from it. I don't want this vengeance stuff. I don't really care. People die, and it's cool.
He looks surprised as this. He goes, "Yeah, I was wrong about you. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that." All right, so
Maybe you're thinking of my sister.
maybe
She's like
maybe
really
sister.
into like life and crystals and
Yeah.
stuff.
Juniper, I'm assuming you're all down for this.
Always am, and whatever keeps me in this town, I don't want to try to make new connections with any of the creatures. Do you know how the pigeons are in other towns? I don't either, and I don't want to find out.
Yeah. Ugh. Don't want to go to Baldur's Gate. No, thank you. Too much happens there. Way too much happens there. So what about you, Big D? Yeah, I think maybe you might be up for some smashing.
I just want to say that when I get in the compound with the dark daggers, they're going to rue the day that they crossed us.
All right,
Your
then.
plan sounds perfect. I couldn't have thought of anything better. That teleport circle is guaranteed to go somewhere safe. Let's do this.
Agreed. Are we all comfortable doing this during the day? Should we wait for the night?
I'm far, far, far better at what I do under the cover of darkness.
Yeah. Yeah, all right.
I
Well,
love darkness.
In that case, I'm gonna have some food and maybe get some sleep.
Maybe
See
I
you
can do a
tonight.
bit of reconnoitering.
Sure. Oh, bloody hell. Forgot. I swung by the old place before I came back here, see if there was anything left. Found a few things in some of the safe holes that we had left behind and brought it with me. So figured I would give you all what's left. Lots of weird stuff. Let's see. He goes into that big pack that he was carrying. The gnome squats down and you hear the leather being pulled apart as he kind of he reaches in and he pulls out what looks like a pair of goggles and he goes, anyone want these? Actually, you know what? Why don't I just open it up and he just kind of lays that, pulls it wide open and kind of splays out all these different little items, these trinkets that are all over inside this pouch. Various random things. Essentially, you're about to get your magical items for the adventure.
Thank you, Smidgen. Very, very considerate of you to think of us. Like
Oh,
this.
don't thank me yet. I mean, I don't know if any of these things are going to be worth a damn to any of you. I mean, I don't know about you, but there's some things in there that like change your hair color, and that might be good for walking in the North Wards. But I don't think it's going to help us. But you're welcome. Let's just say you're welcome.
It's the
What
thought that
colors?
counts.
Juniper dives in, starts digging, inventorying, definitely inventorying.
Okay, Juniper. I'm going to roll to see what you get, what your magical item is. Nicely done, Juniper. Your magical item is a bag of holding. You pick up the pouch, you recognize this bag, you've seen it used by some of the members, and you're like, you recognize it. This is, that was a nice random roll.
Finally got one. I finally got my transport of destiny.
It holds up to 500 pounds.
It occurred to me that this character that I've updated for this had a magic weapon that I didn't even ask you about. Womp womp.
Go ahead. What is it?
A Trident of Warning.
A Trident of Warning. I am not actually sure. What does that do exactly? I'm not familiar with it.
It's can't be surprised. It's basically got spider sense. It will warn me if there's danger.
Oh.
Like if something's about to happen, it rattles and lets me know.
That is mighty. That is a mighty item.
Mhm.
Yeah. In which case, I would say, why don't you take that, and then I'll take one of the other two of you can either get a second magical item or one you guys can share.
Fine with me.
Mara just stands back and lets everybody else choose first, and she'll take whatever's left.
Okay. Who would like to go next? Who would like to snag up one of the random items?
My character has similar to B-Dave's. My character has some magical items I forgot to ask about, but I would happily trade one if there's something in that bag that I want more.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. All right. So it's
okay,
probably
yes.
so probably not. You would I would say you get to keep what magical item do you have, and you can keep it.
I have two. I have a ring of acid resistance and a cloak of elven kind.
Ooh, Cloak of Elvenkind is particularly nice. Then in that case, I would say, why don't you just keep those 2?
Okay.
And then that means that that there's going to be 2 extras then in this pouch for everybody else.
Okay.
So, who would like to go next? Who would like to snatch up a magical item?
Druge will stick his paw in there and kind of swirl it around and see what I can come up with.
See what you get? Okay, let's see what Druge gets. I hope it's ridiculous. What is that? I was correct. It's ridiculous. Hold on. Let me. Oh my God. Having this at your fingertips. Very good. Nalzur's Marvelous Pigments. It's a wondrous item. It's very rare. Typically found in 1d4 pots. Inside, there are 1d4 pots. We'll say there are 4. It's a fine wooden box with a brush. These pigments allow you to create 3-dimensional objects by painting them in 2 dimensions.
What?
The paint flows
Looney
from the
Tunes tunnel.
brush. Yes, the paint flows from the brush in the form of the object you desire as you concentrate on the image. So you don't even have to be a good painter. Each pot has sufficient to cover 1,000 square feet of surface, which lets you create inanimate objects or terrain features such as a door, a pit, a flower, a tree, a cell, rooms, or weapons that are up to 10,000 cubic feet. It takes 10 minutes to cover 100 square feet. When you complete the painting, the object or terrain depicted becomes real.
It's like Wile E. Coyote. You paint the tunnel, and the tunnel is real.
Wile E. Coyote. Holy crap!
Wile E.
This is
Coyote.
incredibly powerful. Oh my God. Thus, painting a door on a wall creates an actual door that can be opened to whatever is beyond. Painting a pit on the floor creates a real pit, and the depth counts as a total area of the objects you can create. Nothing created by the pigments can have a value greater than 25 GP. If you paint an object with greater value, the object looks authentic, but close inspection reveals that it's made of paste, bone, or some other worthless material. If you paint a form of energy, such as fire or lightning, the energy appears, but it dissipates as soon as you complete the painting, with doing no harm.
Wow.
You've got a paint set that basically lets you Looney Tunes.
Okay. All right, cool.
You just pick it up and look at this thing. Yeah. The pots all look like fish heads with their mouths open, and you see paint on the inside. And you see a bunch of little paint brushes. Okay, so next, that's going to be you, Adriana.
Yeah, Mara just finally gingerly goes through and grabs whatever's left.
Okay.
Thanking Smidgen, thank you again for keeping us in mind. I know you'll always have our back. And pulls out whatever.
Mm-hmm. No problem. It's the least I could do. Here we go. So you reach down, those thick Goliath fingers of yours, you pick up a small black sphere about 3/4 of an inch in diameter that weighs about an ounce. It has 5 charges on it. This is called a Bead of Force. You can use an action to throw the bead up to 60 feet. The bead explodes on impact and is destroyed. Each creature within 10-foot radius of the bead must succeed a DC 15 Dex save or take 5d4 force damage. A sphere of transparent force that encloses the area for 1 minute, and any creature that failed its save is completely within the sphere area, trapped inside the sphere. Wow, it's a grenade that imprisons people.
Love it. Mara just like looks over it slowly. I'll make sure this goes to good use. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't even know what that does. He just kind of shrugs. But, you know, have fun. Just don't throw it at me.
Oh, I won't. Thank you.
And
Smidge. Oh, well, sorry. Go ahead.
no, that was it. And Juniper, you got your magic item, right? Did we give you yours? We haven't gotten you
Did
yours
my
yet. have we?
mouse? My mouse needs a magic item. You said there were leftovers.
That's true. There is a leftover. Shall we do this?
Please give
All
that
right.
a magic item.
For your mouse. Oh my God. This couldn't be any more perfect. Okay. I don't even. This might be overkill, but let's find out.
Might be mouse.
This might be overkill.
What's the best kind of kill? We have rogues in our party.
Can verify, yes.
There's no such thing as too much kill.
All great band name, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Too
Let's
much
go.
kill.
Okay. Oh, no, this is not what I thought it was. Okay. Okay, this could come in handy. It's an elixir of health. When you drink this potion, it cures any disease afflicting you, including blindness, deafness, paralyzation, or poison. So it instantly clears all conditions that are imposed. Yeah.
All right. I'll hold on to this for you because you will gnaw the lid, and we both know this. And because you're tiny and you can't carry it. But if anybody needs this, then we all know that it is to your credit and not to mine. It's you. Right?
So there's actually one more. You get one more. So whoever wants it can take it, whatever the next one is.
Maybe we just roll it and see what it is, and then it might make more sense who gets it.
Okay, I just rolled it, and this is absurd. They're all absurd, and I love it. I'm telling you, where D&D really shines is when you go into the wondrous items and just go. Oh no.
Oh yeah, so like where this is headed.
Oh, yes.
That's too good. It's an amulet. This is too good. You guys it's an amulet. Get ready. Amulet of proof against detection and location.
I would like that.
Yes. Perfect.
Oh no. This is going to be so abused. So while wearing this amulet, you are hidden from divination magic. You cannot be targeted by such magic or perceived through magical scrying sensor. So if anybody tried to scry to see where y'all are at, they cannot see you. No one can find you through location spells. When you pull that amulet up, you just see Smidge and go, oh, that's a good one. Very good. Very good.
I have a vested interest in being hard to locate.
Well, I'm not claiming any of these. I've already got my item. He taps his, what you know to be a ring of protection that he wears on him. He goes, I'm good to go. So whoever wants to give that over.
Everybody in all of Waterdeep knows when Druge is there. They can see me coming. They can hear me stomping. I don't know non-detections.
I will say, out of the shadows now, because you guys rarely see me because I'm always hiding, you see something that looks like a nearly 8-foot predatory cat with blue and black mottled fur that comes out very slowly and gets just out of Smidge's arm's reach, but very much inside of mine, and says, there is just one last piece of business, Smidge, before we proceed with all of this. Where were you 2 nights ago? How did you
see him
dodge them?
He sets down his pack and goes, here we go.
Oh, yes, here we go. Everyone's thinking, well, maybe not everyone. I know Juniper and I are thinking it, and probably Druge. So let's just be out with it.
All right, I'll give you 2 answers. And you can do whatever you want with them. So here we go. Ready? Here's the first one. 1, I had my breeches down to my ankles and I was visiting a friend. 2, if I wanted any of you dead, why are you still alive?
You know,
Why was it me that came up the stairs just now and handed out goodies instead of sending City Watch to finish off the job? I could have betrayed you when I left this place, right?
Here's the thing, Smidge.
Yeah, what's the thing?
We've done a lot of business together over the years, and quite frankly, if I thought you were lying to us, you would be lying in that puddle of piss this morning, not standing near it interrogating someone. The thing is, you have suddenly raised your stars in our fine organization quite a bit and now stand to benefit directly. I point at the map with a very long, unnaturally long clawed hand.
Okay.
This all goes into your coffers, friend. So, of course, I have to ask the question, were the lives of our brothers and sisters in both and neither worth it to you for whatever we're going to get from them?
Don't go. Don't do it. Up to you. Don't do it. If you don't trust it, don't do it.
You see this huge thing just sinks back into the shadows and says, "Oh, I'm going to go. Worst thing that'll happen is I'll just be visiting you after." Just like
Haddix, how can you suggest this?
Don't
After
worry.
everything he's done for us, you're just. I
No,
know
wait.
people have stabbed each other in the back in this organization, but
Yeah.
literally.
Just so you know, I don't take what old Hattie here is saying personally. Truth is, he's being smart right now. He's asking questions and he's not assuming nothing. I appreciate that. I also really am just tickled by the fact that he thinks he could find me after living 75 years in the streets of Waterdeep. Like I was going to be found by you. But what's important is Hattie's looking out for all of you. So it's good questions he's asking, and it's right to ask me like that. It's your choice. You don't have to do this. I'm not going to push anyone to do this. I'm going. Coppers with me life. Those were me mates. That was me family. I'm going to go. You want to come with me? Maybe my chances of getting out of this go up a little. You don't? I don't blame you. I don't have a way for you out of Waterdeep, so I can't help you any further than that. Whatever happens, my life is taking me into that damn house tonight. So it's up to y'all. Either way, if you choose not to go, you can skip town with the trinkets I gave you. No hard feelings and wish you all the best. Don't go to Baldur's Gate. Too much shit happens there. It's not worth it. Gods show up. Drowers just show up. They just walk in, kill people. Baldur's Gate's just not worth it. Flaming fist all over the roads, not worth it. Just go somewhere else. I hear Cornmere is very nice this time of year. Sword Coast. Yeah. Hey, you're a druid. Maybe live the camping life, right? Travel the roads. I don't know. Do whatever you want, but it's up to you. That's all I got to say.
Coppers is my family now, so I'm in. I don't know about the rest of you, but this is where I belong, no matter how many of us are left.
When I was down, I was beaten. I was just a mercenary struggling. Who was there to pull me up? Grins and the rest of the coppers. And now here I am with the rest of you on top of the world. Part of the most powerful gang before somebody came by. Stabbed us in the back and betrayed us. I don't know about you, but I'm not going to let anybody do that to us. I'm going to seek my revenge upon all of you in one single physical act that may apply to multiple people, but we're going to take them down.
Yeah,
I'm in grins.
I think we all get one each. I think that's how it works. One venge each. To be applied multiple times. Yeah, I want to just go and hurt things. That's it.
They're not going to expect us coming, if nothing else. They think we're all dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The advantage is in our favor. Greatly. We have, thanks to you, we have so many ways in here, so.
I say let's do it.
I'm tired of hiding. What kind of rogue hides in an attic? when there's people to kill.
Well, if we're only waiting till it gets dark and everyone goes to sleep, good ones. But your point is taken, friend.
All right. Okay, all right. Good point, Head. That's why you do the planning.
Speaking of, what is the plan? We know where they are. They're probably going to be more active at night. Is there a time of a change of guards, some particular time they might be most vulnerable? Suppose we could always nail the door shut and burn the whole thing down with them inside, but then we risk not retrieving our prize.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't get that much information out of him. Like I say, he was kind of a small timer. Listen, I don't want to infuse doubt into the group, but just real quick. I've been bamboozled before, so I just want to put this out there that we should probably also just keep in the back of our minds Haddix's philosophy that it could be a trap. It's possible I was swindled when I threatened the bastard to get all of this. You know what I'm saying? This could be a trap to get the last members of the coppers to show up at the door so they could finish the job. It's entirely possible this whole thing's a setup. But I don't care. I just wanted to put that out there.
Perfect.
I don't have a plan.
Face to face with the people we need to avenge on.
So we're all, sounds like we're all in agreement then.
Yeah.
Drew's in, no matter what. Big D wants to go do some smashing. So the rest of you, what do you say we use the next few hours to come up with a plan and then, you know, go be bad guys for a bit?
I'm in.
Yeah.
Right, y'all plan and I'll take my flyby and see what I can see of them.
So here's what I'm going to do. To avoid the trappings of a D&D session that we all have experienced time and time again, where planning takes place. Dawn, we plan. To avoid the trappings of coming up with a plan, then overthinking the plan, then rethinking the plan, then debating every contingency, then taking a break, and then coming back and then ordering the pizza and then realizing we haven't come up with a plan yet, and then 8 p.m. rolls around and people start talking about the hard outs. And yeah, before we do a full D&D session in this 3-hour one shot, let's do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to individually, I'm going to have you guys do some rolls. And those rolls are going to give narrative points. So this is an option that's presented in the Dungeon Master's Guide that you don't see show up in D&D games very often, but we have used in some of our games before. Narrative points are, everyone gets a narrative point, which lets you make something true. So in order to stage this dash-in break-in of this Thieves Guild, rather than over-planning this, everyone's going to get a single narrative point that you can all use when we show up to the place. Spend it wisely. Spending the narrative point will essentially let you say, I spend a point of narrative. It just so happens that with the destruction of our guild, most of them are out partying tonight. So the guards are light. That would be a good narrative point spend. Things like that. I open this treasure chest. Oh, look, I spend a point of narrative. There happens to be a ring of protection inside. Bam, that kind of stuff. So use it wisely. In which case, we will say for the purposes of pacing that you guys all sit down and for the next few hours while the sun begins to hang high over the streets of Waterdeep and eventually begins to sink low, you all start concocting a plan based off of the information that you know. Maybe even occasionally sending Haddix out to scout it before it come back to get an idea of what the street looks like. Who can see what from what angles? What windows are facing the building? So who could they have lookouts looking down on the street? All of that stuff. Is there an outdoor cafe where they constantly have a watch person sipping ale and watching the front door? All of that stuff. So 5.5 hours of planning with the survivors of the coppers. The sun begins to set behind the walls of Waterdeep. Lamp lights start to come to life The glow of the streets from all of the fires on the insides of these great buildings starts to light up. The water casting reflections in the puddles of the cobbled stones, the city watch walking the streets, the occasional laughter, the shows that are happening. Waterdeep is a vibrant living town that never, ever, ever sleeps. It is New York City in D&D, and it is constant. You all emerge from your hideout for the first time in about 2 days, stepping out into the streets and breathing in that mildewy, kind of deep, ruddy scent that kind of permeates into your nostrils. Particularly you, Druge, because, that trunk, you can maneuver it anywhere you want, but when it hangs low, you're just getting that city street stench, and it's never been good. For those of us who do not have a sense of smell, I will say that the typical streets of Waterdeep smells like humidity. It smells like the air is thick and kind of warmer than it should be. Like it's like settled around you all. It's that kind of heavy, smoggy air that gets trapped in the city after the morning fogs. Home sweet home. So the hideout that y'all are headed to is located, no surprise, no shock here, but it's actually located in the dock ward. You all head down the Way of the Dragon, which is one of the big streets of the docks, also heading into the South Ward, hanging a right until you finally come to Snail Street, which is where this guild supposedly has its hideout located, on the corner of Fish Street and Snail Street. I cannot stress this enough. It's like Victorian London look, but quadruple in size. It's just stacked up on top of each other. All of these apartments and houses, all of these places on the streets of Waterdeep are just, it looks like the city is just constantly stacking more and more of these wooden units on top of each other, creating like a medieval town that just never ends. Y'all are walking through the dimly lit streets, and you start approaching this house. It's best to call it a manor. It's about 3 stories, very similar to the place where you all were hiding out, with the exception of the fact that it's quite large, as it takes up an entire corner. All right. So, as you are all making your approach, what would y'all like to do? Currently outside, on the corner, there are 2 men standing in cloaks, having conversations with each other, not really paying attention to the street, clearly lookouts or guards or something. They're standing outside what looks like a staircase that leads up into the main door area. The staircase, by the way, is charitably called a staircase. It looks like it may have once been a staircase, but the wood has bent and bowed so much so that it's more accurately described as a ramp at this point. You all look like a bunch of friends that came out of a tavern as you're walking through the streets, kind of casually and not in the way.
Do we want to try to go into a sewer line and maybe open up a door into the floor? Or do we want to try to sneak around the side and climb up to the top? Or do we just want to go up there and knock their heads together?
I like that plan.
Well, that's the backup plan. That's always an option, but not necessarily the best option. Juniper, you mentioned something about a bird's eye view.
Yes. So as part of Juniper's preparation, they were being the pigeon they want to see in the world and doing their flyby in the 5.5 hours.
Okay.
So
Sure.
maybe I could make a roll to see what I had seen then.
Yes. Why don't we do this? I'm going to say, because you had time to take, why don't we call that an investigation check, but I'll let you roll with advantage.
Okay. Side note, because this may apply to ability checks, I'm just going to very quickly roll my Cosmic Omen, so I know whether I have Wheel or Woe to add to checks.
Okay. I know you have an investigation of 0 because what druid takes investigation, but
Yep.
roll with advantage. And to keep in mind, this is not going to penalize you if you fail the roll. This is to find out if you find anything
special
useful. Yeah,
that we haven't painted on yet.
Yeah.
It's woe, by the way. So
Okay.
I'm going to make other people's lives difficult. Get high.
Okay.
And we have a 4 on one die and a 14 on the other.
Okay.
This is above average.
Okay, in which case I would say, as you're so first of all, your investigation is impeded a few times by a cat that has managed to make its way pretty high onto one of the rooftops and becomes very curious in you when you take one moment to perch and get a good eye view of what's going on in the front. However, before the cat tries to pounce on you, and before you're able to flutter away, you do see indeed that it looks like the place during the day looks quite crowded. There's a lot of people out front and having conversation. I'll give you this much. It's unusual to see members of a thieves guild gathering in number outside their hideout like that. With a 14, I will tell you, they look a little too comfortable. Could be a product of removing one of their rivals, you're not sure. But why don't we do this? For more information, I'll let you interpret what you've seen if you give me an insight check, which I know is going to be a better roll for you.
You know where to go but up.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and that was 13 on the dice, which gives us a 17 total.
Okay, yes. You get the impression, so the information you're able to bring back to the coppers is that their guard is down. It's completely down. They're not anticipating anything. These people that are gathered outside in the fronts are acting like they don't have a care in the world. They're in full view of the city watch and they don't seem to care.
Hubris shall be their downfall. Did I see anything about skylights, upper windows, second story?
There is a skylight in the up. Yes, there is indeed a skylight on the 3rd floor, a very large sort of Doctor Strange-esque skylight, but it's actually, instead of built into the front of the house, it looks like it's built towards the top on the roof side. Old mud. It looks like that yellowed glass, like that pane glass that's kind of warped a little bit and it has that yellowing all over the top. Has been well taken care of.
But it is quite large, assuming we have a good locks picker. I just looked at Druge.
Cannonball! That's how Druge picks locks.
Did he get into the Thieves Guild again?
Are there any other? I know this building is 3 stories. Are there any other adjacent structures or nearby buildings where it might be able to access the roof from a nearby building?
Yes. The thing about Waterdeep is all tightly packed. Many of the alleyways in here are actually you're not really able. Most of the alleys in Waterdeep that are off the main street are actually too small to walk down. They're so small.
Right.
Tightly packed.
Assassin's Creed, let's go.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you knew our creed. So I guess here's the question. They probably aren't really expecting someone to come through the front door, even though they put guards out. They were probably expecting the skylight because they are rogues. But I still think it's a better option. Although I think Drews might have had something if there is a way in through the sewers.
There were. I wouldn't have seen it as a bird.
I started looking around for a manhole cover. I know I don't want to go too deep because that's how you end up in Skullport or in Undermountain. But just is looking for sewer access nearby because I don't want to have to walk too far through the sewers either.
Okay. The gratings to get into the sewers are actually, because it's not a modern city, they're actually few and far between. You do find one Let's see how far away from the building it is, and we will let your roll decide that. So why don't you roll a? We're gonna say that roll an investigation check. But I'll give the reason why I'm going to give you advantage, though, and the reason why I'm giving you all advantage is you have been able to take your time throughout the course of 5 hours to plot this. Okay. So you're not pressed for anything. So roll with advantage on that and tell me what you get.
Thank you for advantage, because one of those was a big old one. It's going to be a 17.
A 17. Okay. Then we will say that because this is the docks, there are actually quite a few grates to lead into the sewer since so much water is coming and going through the docks area. There is a grating that takes you into the sewer about maybe 2 blocks away from the house. You also know that grating is being watched.
Yeah, and is this the type of thing where like these would be smuggling routes down through there too?
Absolutely, yes.
Absolutely. After sneaking around a little bit and picking it, come back, relay to them that we have 3 viable points of entry, but upon reflection, I say the skylight.
Agreed.
I'd much prefer that as well.
Let's go.
Is there anything we can do to have some sort of distraction up front? Just in case.
Yeah, I could do some distractions.
Oh, but not necessarily distractions.
Oh.
I might be able to do a little bit of something.
What have you got in mind?
Any sort of illusion you please. Not a big one, but maybe a small one.
Yes, because there could be all manner of traps on these windows, arcane and otherwise. It would be good to have the maximum number of eyes directed elsewhere before we set off an alarm or some such.
What would distract them the most efficiently?
Death, but second to that, fire is always a good choice.
Fire.
What about that doesn't set off too much of their suspicions? Leave it to me.
Right.
I'll find something.
Okay.
Then start looking for a way in the next closest building that is adjacent, but keep an eye out to see if that's being watched too, because again, these people are all pros. I get that like they case their building like we case their building to like try and compensate. So
the building that is next door is owned by first of all, it's one of the few buildings on the streets that has an open window in front because it's a bakery. It's a bakery that apparently is owned by a very large, rounded-bellied and friendly-looking half-orc. Stands at about 6.5 feet tall and never seems to take the apron off because it's not clean. It's not in great shape. Yeah. And the name of the shop is Smorks Orcs Pies. Smorks Orcs Pies. And you see he is almost always in the window putting these giant pies and like baking goods down in front of the window to entice people. The only problem is even though that his building is the one that is probably most well positioned next door, it's not as tall. So you're looking up about an entire story to the other roof.
How the building is 3 stories, you say?
The guilds, the Dark Daggers Guild is 3 stories tall.
I look at the group and I'm like, I can actually just run a rope up there fairly easily, but I can only do it a couple of times a night. So if we just need to climb up, we could do it anywhere we want.
Well, the roof of the bakery might be our best bet for now.
Well, but we need to gain access to the roof and still have another 10 feet to go. And no offense, Drews, I don't know how adept at scaling buildings you are.
I'm okay. I'm pretty strong. I can climb okay.
We just get around to the side of the building in the alley, fairly sure that we're not being watched. I just produce my length of rope and I'm like, all right, are we ready to go up?
Sure.
Rope rope trick.
Casting rope trick.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
I just have to say that, like, I think the last time, this is going to shock some of you, but the last time I think I ever used rope in a D&D game might have been 2nd edition. I think it was the last time I've ever used.
Playing rope trick, having rangers with rope trick taught me a new appreciation for it.
Oh,
You can do a lot of stuff with it.
There's a
Started
bridge.
with rope trick.
Mm-hmm.
Rope
Yeah,
trick.
you can do a lot of great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say,
In-hold, spam, return to
Mhm.
hold.
Mm-hmm.
Horde of the Dragon Queen, slippery bridge, use a rope. My God.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what your dex is.
All
Or if
agreed.
that bridge pissed me off. Okay, so
Yep.
all right, with rope trick, you don't have to throw that thing at all. You basically you utter a few arcane words, you open your palm of your hand, and the rope goes snaking all 3 stories up to the very top and finds something to lash itself around, and immediately just feel it pull taut.
I actually will I'll give it the full 50 feet of rope just because we might have to like leave and go up more and hide up there. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
because of the length of rope and because of the height of the building itself, you're probably gonna have to get Druge to like lift some of y'all up to get to the bottom of the rope because it's dangling about 8 feet off the ground. Once you get
okay.
that thing out. Yeah.
I will just after it goes, I'm like, let me go up first just in case. And up to see if anyone's on the roof.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, there's a
All right.
couch up there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
I'll be sure
I-
to say hello.
I never ever get to ask for this. You're climbing a rope, so if you could please make me an acrobatics check.
Hey. That is going to be 17.
So, okay.
Mhm.
Like the man in black has got nothing on you, Haddix. You just tear up that rope. Just takes you a few moments before you climb the full 3 stories. When you get to the very top, you see a roof that probably has not been walked on before. The shingles do look a little slippery up here, so you're gonna have to be mindful of that. But you do see that window clear as day, and it does have a latch on it. The latch looks like it is rusted. It looks like it's caked on there.
Just like over the roof, you guys just see like a thumbs up here. Yeah. Just so how rope trick works for anyone who's not familiar, the rope does just snake up into the sky, but at the top of it, there is an extra dimensional space that you can climb up into and theoretically be safe up there. So I'm gonna wait for them to get a little closer before I try and open this. Just in case. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Uh,
Who would like to go next?
I'm gonna go ahead and start to climb the rope.
All right, make an acrobatics check. We have 2 fate points, don't forget.
Oh,
Actually, I'd like
that's
to give Patience some guidance. I'd like to cast guidance for Patience.
Okay, I'll let you cast guidance. So if you want to throw
Yeah.
guidance
Mara
at Kate,
just like,
I need it because
yeah,
I rolled a
Forgotten
10.
Barbarian. I was like,
Thank you. What do I get for that?
D4.
yeah,
D4
extra
and add it to
D4 to
your
your ability check.
Okay.
super useful.
D4s be with you.
Oh, thank God. I got a 13 total.
Okay, yeah, you managed to get up
Okay.
that rope. Yeah, second story work is not something you're used to, Patience. You're more used to the street level, like
Mm-hmm.
wiping things off of people and doing what you got to do down there. You managed to get to the top of that rope, though, and Haddix, you managed to pull her on to the roof.
I'm usually better at. I have good acrobatics, but maybe I think I'm depressed.
No.
I say that to Haddix when I get to the top.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mara's big like me, though, right?
Yeah, I'm about
Yeah.
7 feet
Mhm.
tall.
Okay. So anyone little left
Yeah, I
is
think- Juniper, they went up.
Juniper.
Yes.
here you go, little one. I'll like give like a little, make like a little hand, make my hands in a little stirrup so she boosts them up.
Beep, beep, beep. Beep. Just sprawling off the boost up onto the rope and shimmy, 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 shimmy. Turn around, pat, pat, Mara. Guidance back at you.
Oh. And yeah, Mara just like looks up
See
to
you up
them.
there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shimmy, 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 shimmy.
It's a 10 DC to climb that rope, so.
Well,
Okay.
let's 10D see how I do.
Uh,
Here
Let's
come
see.
the
Oh,
puns.
haha. Good, good, good. Thank you for all of the everything. 6, 12. I make it, yes. It's not glorious, but it gets the job done. I think it's because somebody knows that we're going up somewhere with a cat and he's not happy about that and he's scrabbling and scritching at me.
All right, so you make it to the top. Who's so Mara and Drew's, y'all are the only ones left.
So is this
would you
a
like to go?
Yeah, is this a strength? Can I strength this one, or does it
You
have?
can strength it. Yeah, if you want to athletics
Athletics.
this, you absolutely have that option.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and strength athletics it up. No issue. 7 adjusted.
No
17.
technique. You just grab the rope and start pulling yourself up. All right, so go ahead. I mean, go ahead and make the roll. DC is 10.
I got a 17.
Okay, yeah, you're just yeah, I mean, if I mean, I imagine that nobody sees what y'all are doing, but somewhere like a little kid who's licking a lollipop and holding the hand of their mom as they're walking down the streets of Waterdeep glances over and stops. They see this elephant man just climbing up the side of the, just
Mommy,
kind of like
Mommy,
let's
look
go
at
on.
that. No,
And they
no,
just
we
get
have to
pulled
go, we
away.
have to go.
Mara just
All
looking
right.
around nervously, hoping nobody notices.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh my gods.
Mhm.
A 6.
You have my 1d4.
I
From
that,
guidance.
it was a 2. Yep.
Oh.
It's a 6
You
total.
roll a
even
4
with
on that
guidance.
D4, you're good to go.
No, that was total. 6 total.
Oh no.
With the D4 roll?
Yes, I rolled a 2 and then a 4 and
It sounds like
0.
we need fate to step in and
Yeah.
save you.
You want to spend a
Mara,
fate
yeah, I
point?
guess Mara like she's just like I was never really good at this part of this business, and she just starts to go up and like
why did we let
loses her
her come up
footing.
last?
I would narratively state that failing the DC check on this might get you spotted.
Yeah, use
Because I
that.
don't see Mara incapable of climbing the rope. So I would say if
Use
you
the
want to
fate point.
spend,
Use the fate point. Reroll.
Fate point. Okay. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, by the way, for
Yes,
the-
thank you.
community.
Okay, please. Please. Much better. And then okay, 13.
Okay. Yeah, there's a heart-rending moment, Mara, as you're pulling yourself up, where one of the rogues from the front door has come around just as you start pulling yourself up and you freeze on the rope. And he walks right under. Remember how I said the rope was dangling 8 feet off the ground? He walks right underneath it. All he has to do is look up and the whole thing is up. You just kind of freeze and hang there on the rope. But as fate would have it, he doesn't look up once. As he walks down the back alley and just kind of glances around for a moment, then turns around and walks back towards the front. Doesn't once think to look. I mean, at one point, the tip of his cloak was brushing the bottom of the rope. You can see it kind of swing for a second as he walks past you. You're waiting to see if he's going to notice the movement of his own hood and be alerted, but he doesn't. He turns the corner as the community saves the day.
Mara lets out the air, the breath she was holding for so long, just in a silent sigh of relief, just
Okay.
proceeds to go up the rope even
You are
more
all
carefully.
topside now. And you have a rare look at the city of Waterdeep. 3 stories is as tall as the buildings are allowed to be built in Waterdeep. And so you are currently topside on the tip tops of the roof, overlooking this great vast city of 2 million people here in the Forgotten Realms. You can see all the chimneys and smoke drifting into the night sky, and Selune up high, her like silvery beams beaming down across the oceans and the sea of stars off in the distance. It's quite lovely. and
I
then
feel like
below
going to
you-
the edge and spreading my arms and saying, "I'm the Lord of Waterdeep."
I'm the Lord of Waterdeep. Fan arts, get to work. So real quick though, I'm going to let you all know I did describe the top of the roof looks like it's made in a way that the shingles here look slippery. It might be deliberate that they are made in such a way. So I'm giving you all fair warning. Moving across this roof is going to impose disadvantage.
Hold on. Let me just check one thing here.
It is considered difficult terrain, and you will be at disadvantage if you are trying to move across it.
Sorry, let me just check something. Right, that does not work like I thought it did. And I'm just checking one other thing. I'm like, one thing I thought I would do won't work. The other thing I think I was going to do won't work. Roughly how far is the window from the edge of the roof, like where we're getting off the rope to the window?
Within reach. It's within reach for some of the taller folks, but I will say that it is that frustrating reach where you can reach out and touch it, but not really fiddle with it.
As a bugbear, my arms are 5 feet. I have 5
That is
feet
correct. You have
longer reach because
extended
I have
longer limbs.
extended long arms.
Did we make it known? We told everyone you were a bugbear, right?
I just described what I was, but I didn't say I was a bugbear. Yeah, he's a bugbear. Mm-hmm.
B-Dave's a bugbear. There's
We're all huge.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right. Basically,
Peggy.
yeah. So
Juniper.
I'm gonna, even from the edge there, as I know they're coming, I'm gonna go ahead and set upon opening the window, because if this goes poorly, they can just go all the way up to the safe spot, basically.
I'm gonna have you roll something that, no joke, I have not had a GM have me roll since 5th edition was released.
My body's ready.
You are gonna make a lockpick roll here. So you're gonna roll your proficiency score.
Mhm.
You have lockpicks, right?
Yep.
Okay, so because this is a manual thing, you're going to be using your dex modifier. So your proficiency plus your dex modifier for this particular roll.
Dig it. Got it.
Yep, and that's
that is going to be a 23.
okay. So you lay out your lockpicks in front of you, and you all watch these ape-like, just long arms extend out, and he leans over and starts fiddling with this. Because he has reach, he's able to do it. But you look, even it's quite the impressive feat as he slides 2 of these picks into the top part. Now here's the good news. Cracking this lock was a breeze, Haddix. As you reach in there and you put those lock picks inside that lock, you can immediately hear a cracking sound as the rust breaks the locking mechanism just as you're twisting it, and it pops open. The bad news is that rust goes around the entire ring of this window that kind of opens outward. And you can see the rust is on that lock too. So the thing is open, but it's kind of fused by rust. And at that point, I'm gonna have you make a perception check at disadvantage.
Oh, at disadvantage.
Yeah, normally this is not a dark vision thing either. This is mostly because of the angle you're at.
You know, fate did not want me to see whatever this is, because I rolled double ones.
Okay.
2 ones.
Yeah.
Although, if you're gonna roll 2 ones, doing it on disadvantage is the time to do it.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent. As your GM, I thank you. Yes. So you've managed to open that lock.
You know what's funny? I have a pretty chunky perception bonus too, but I'm not meant to see it.
No, 2 ones is impressive. It's for all the 20s you roll in the other game.
That's then having no idea that anything is other than legit. So what I'm understanding is, does this seem like I can muscle it? It's just going to make noise and be broken.
Yes, that is correct.
Then
Patty,
would you like
not to criticize your technique or anything, but
it was rusted shut. There was nothing that could be done. Look at it.
No, that was you actually did good. I saw that. It was pretty slick. Almost as good as Druge, but not quite. But keep working.
Well, no.
But hold on.
No, step in. I tell you, it's worth it, because I want to watch you walk across this slippery roof. So yes, please, Drews, help me, please.
Not gonna walk at all. I'm gonna do arts and crafts. And I'm going to get out my paint and I'm going to draw a trap door with a nice handle and some hinges. And I'm going to think about a nice, comfy trap door that's right there.
Okay, so you expend a use of your paints.
A well-oiled trap door.
It's like butter. It opens up
with a rope ladder that has like nice stairs, like nice wooden slats, and just rolls right on down. That's what I'm thinking.
Nice tassels at the end.
Make a happy little trap door.
Happy little trap door.
That's right.
It's your world, Druge.
Got a happy trap.
Your world. Just make a
We got a little sunlight. We got a little moon up here. It's just shining a little happy light down upon us.
Mm-hmm.
You watch as Druge spreads this paint on top of this, like not even near where that window is, just like right in front of him. And miraculously, you're watching this door begin to appear. And when the paint is done, when you've spread that paint, which is in like 10 by 10 cubic feet, so you expend a use of the paints. And as you pull the brush up, you see the paint begins to sort of melt away. And as it slides off of the roof, it kind of folds back into itself and reveals that the door is real. Painted perfectly, just as Druge painted it. Takes them all of about maybe 10 minutes to just apply, done. There's a door that looks brand new with shiny hinges and everything on it.
I will open it up.
It opens noiselessly. Just pull that thing open and you look right down. The moment you look down, Druge, what you see that our unfortunate double ones did not reveal is a room filled with members of the Dark Blades. There are inside who all kind of I would say they haven't noticed you yet because you used this magical item to noiselessly open up this roof. For this first round, they're not going to get a chance to look up. But
minor illusion of the roof. I want this to look exactly like the roof.
Oh, okay? So you just kind of eyes widen and just mutter a cantrip, and it just.
And I put my fingers up to my lips, and I say, "There's a whole bunch of dark daggers right there."
I lean over. I believe it was to Patience, and I say, "Do you still have that explosive bead? Was that you?"
No.
I think it was Mara.
Yeah, I look over at Haddix. I still have it, and you're thinking exactly what I was thinking.
There are 9 people in that room.
9 people. And is this a silent bead?
Oh no.
Oh,
But once
no.
it goes off, it'll be what it is.
No. This
It's
becomes
game-
a
it's
scene
game
out
on.
of Commando and Arnold Schwarzenegger. The moment that thing goes down.
Is there any way to cast a sound dampening spell on this thing?
If somebody has silence, yes. If you could cast silence, you could drop that thing in there and.
It was one of the things I was looking for when trying to figure out what I could do. I do not have silence.
Don't have it. No.
I
I
have
also do
one
not have it. I
spell.
think hypothetically, clerics might, but
Actually, I probably should have silence. I have a
Clerics
bunch of
do
nice.
get. I think there are certain domains, but yeah.
oh, is
I
it
don't think with
domains?
mine.
I can help 5 of us get down to the ground fast without hurting ourselves.
Look, let's
Should
let
I-
Haddix cause havoc if he pleases, and thereafter drop a bead.
Well, I don't necessarily want to be in the room when the bead goes off.
No.
Hang on. How big is this room?
Well, from what you can tell from this angle, it's probably about 20 by 30 feet. And it looks like they're having a meeting inside of some kind.
So
I have-
20 by 30. So the bead has a 10-foot radius. I could go down there, savagely gank somebody and throw the bead.
No. I have an idea. Anybody have any gems or gold? We'll drop it down there. They will all investigate. And then I drop the bead.
Are they like around a table or something?
I
Yes.
can make
I'm
I
like, no, I just think dropping it on the table will do the job, Mara.
Oh, they're all around the table?
Yes.
They're all seated around the
Perfect.
table.
They're already seated. Right.
Is-
Okay. I thought we had to
does-
draw them all together.
Does anyone look like important? Like, is there a head at the table?
No, if you can give them one piece of credit, it would be that they look pretty uniformed.
Uh,
Okay.
I just hold my hand out for the bead, and I'm like, allow me.
Okay.
Uh,
Please
I
don't miss. And Mara drops it into Haddix's.
What's Drew's doing?
Dra-
I could make a sound to help cover this explosion, but I don't know if it's gonna work.
I don't know either.
Well, I leave it up to you. And I do open I guess the trapdoor was open, but mine are illusioned. And I do.
Yeah, you guys can see
yeah.
through it fine, but if they look up, they're going to see a ceiling. There's no door.
I do right before I go down there, I say, if this goes poorly, save yourselves. And I do want to climb into the room.
Oh God.
And that's where we're going to pause for our break. Oh man, fire in the hole. Here we go. I was like, they're either going to Batman this and just drop into the center of them and just start going, or they're going to grenade them.
I was thinking the same thing with that bead. Just throw it down there and
just get it in there.
Yeah.
And then we can Batman.
You'll see what I'm thinking
exactly.
after this. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. Groovy.
Okay.
How long?
All right,
how
we're
long?
gonna go
How
on
long?
break.
We get 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10-minute break. We'll take 10 minutes. We'll be
Okay.
back in 10 minutes. Clearly, chaos is about to happen. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a minute.
Chaos ensues.
Thank you for watching.
This is everything you need to know about our terrain in 60 seconds. We hand sculpt our pieces for maximum detail and artistry, infusing passion into every millimeter of our work. Everything is available beautifully hand painted so you can start playing right away. Or you can choose unpainted to paint everything yourself. Our pieces are completely modular, so you can use the same sets to create a new adventure every time. We create everything out of Dwarvenite, our top secret PVC formula that's nearly indestructible. We pack our pieces with as many features as possible, such as swappable LEDs to quickly change the look of your scene. We offer magnetic accessories to add flavor or increase the danger. A 1-inch tactical grid is sculpted into our floors. We offer a range of environments, including dungeons, caverns, cities, castles, sewers, forests, mountains, streets, burrows, ice, and hellscape. And that's just the beginning. That's everything you need to know about Dwarven Forge in 60 seconds.
Working with Idle Champions has been so much fun because it's a different version of Archon. It's like a cartoon coloring book version of Archon, which is really, really fun. Seeing the artwork originally for Little Archon in the game, the way that he walks across the screen with his shield and he breathes fire, and then even the way that Chungo the Manticore comes down at different points. It's so much fun. I mean, you can only dream to have a character of yours then immortalized in that way and playable and unlockable in a video game. The Archon and Idle Champions currently is an earlier version of Archon, so a pre-Hand of Vecna Archon. How did Archon get the Hand of Vecna? Archon was sent out by Tiamat over the course of a decade to go and retrieve artifacts for her. So Tiamat would appear to Archon in dreams, and she would reveal to him the location of a great weapon that could help him, or a great suit of armor. Like the axe that he carries belonged to a general of Asmodeus and was buried inside of this tomb. And so Archon went on this adventure to find that axe of Asmodeus. And so Tiamat would appear to him in dreams, and she did the same to him in terms of this kind of extinction event that was potentially about to happen, where Vecna had teleported huge pieces of land from the Shadowfell and armies and animated this giant long dead titan and was inside of this mile-high structure, juggernaut, going to destroy everything in its path. And so Archon was sent there in order to stop Vecna from destroying the realm. Archon's entire party was killed, except for him. And he wound up using his charisma to become assimilated into another group that shared the same primary objective, which was to kill Vecna and destroy Vecna and stop Vecna from taking over the prime material plane. Now, what this party didn't know was that Archon had a secondary objective, which was to find out what was allowing Vecna to teleport cities and armies from other planes and bring that back. So during that battle, Archon survived, and towards the end realized that the power was coming from Vecna's hand. So when the battle was won, one of the members of this party that Archon joined was going to die. And so in this very vulnerable moment, the friends were gathered around as he was about to pass, and Archon pulled off this move in this very vulnerable moment. He used their vulnerability against them, and in a quiet moment led them to believe that he was sent to destroy the hand. And he had the power to do so in this axe. And when he raised his hand up and whispered a prayer to Tiamat and everyone looked on, he swung the axe down, chopped his own arm off, replaced it with Vecna's hand, and teleported away. He teleported to Krull, who was waiting for him, who healed him from the battle and opened a door to Avernus, to where Archon went and then had an audience with Tiamat. Tiamat rose this giant tower of obsidian, volcanic rock out of hell, and this 9 layers tower with dragon heads around the top. Archon and Krull then sent for Torragar, and he met them there, and this army formed, this dragon army formed around Archon, who was this champion who had returned with what the dragon cult and the dragon armies believed was the actual cure for Tiamat's imprisonment, that finally someone was going to come along with the power to free her. But Archon needed time to figure out how to use the hand and how to unlock its power. And so he began this series of mental battles with Vecna, where they would meet on this ethereal plane and have these mental face-offs and these mental battles in which Archon would try to understand Vecna's secrets while Vecna would try to gain control over Archon's mind. That's how Archon got the hand, and that's what he's doing with it now, and that's what he's up to when you as the player characters run into him. He is in the middle of this process trying to free Tiamat.
The mighty red dragon swoops in over the battlefield. The wind beating from its wings nearly knocks you over. As you stand in its mighty presence, you realize there is no hope for any of you.
Well, I'm out of spells, so I'm just a 10th level dude.
And I'm still unconscious. So if one of you could please go into my bag and get my healing potion, that'd be great.
Then I smash the lizard. Raging, charging, power attack.
Roll your worthless attack. Your pitiful attack glances off the dragon's scale, and it opens its mouth, casting you in the molten glow of its inner heat as it prepares to release its fiery breath upon you all.
Wait, I haven't gone yet.
What weapon could you possibly have to defeat the great dragon?
The greatest weapon in all the realm, forged by Norse foundry to defeat all evil.
No, it can't be.
Take up a fight against evil with the finest weapons in the realm at NorseFoundry.com. And be sure to watch Dragons and Things every Friday night on Twitch.
Waterdeep, the city of splendors, is peaceful at night. Old friends gather at the yawning portal and share stories about the threats to our city. Threats that never sleep. Waterdeep needs warriors. My name is Laeral Silverhand. I've summoned the greatest heroes in Faerun, the Warriors of Waterdeep.
Spurt, the kobold, briefly serving as the guide to the Mighty Nine, led them down a tunnel of the Underdark, and then as the Mighty Nine were chit-chattering, kind of went off ahead on his own, and entered a big giant cave that had two fire giants. Now Spurt is a CR 1/8 monster. Fire giants each are like a CR 9 monster. So he threw his bag of bees at one of them, and it did what you would expect a bag of bees to do. It just plopped down in this little bzzz, no effect whatsoever. And then one of the giants just smushed him. Spurt showed up for 15 minutes actually in an episode that was kind of very straight up to that point. So he was like this humorous interlude, I guess, for lack of a better term. So the fact that he was humorous, the fact that he wasn't live there for very long, so you only got to enjoy him for a brief period of time, I think that won a lot of people over. And then Chris Dupuis, one of the people who works on the creative side of Idle Champions, said, hey, this little guy, he's something. We can make something out of this. Do you mind if we take that ball and run with it? And then they made it. And then they had their little gifts that they did showing Spurt being smashed with the big hammer, and it's like, yes. Why do they fall in love with Spurt so much? Because he tries. You know, life has dealt him a cruel hand. He is a kobold who has never seen the light, and life down in the Underdark is a horror show for the most part. Yet, you know, he's managed to live 11 days and done pretty well for himself in that time, and he seems like an upright little guy. I think the fact that he's small, that he's unabashedly harmless, and that he's got all these fun little toys that can surprise and delight makes him an easy sell. There's just something kind of pathetic and likable about kobolds in general. Because they are on the absolute weakest spectrum of humanoid life. It's like you can't find a humanoid character really who's any weaker than a kobold. Weaker than a kobold would be a terrible insult.
Welcome back. We are about to get underway with what is sure to be a very smooth, easy, completely well executed attack plan here, in which we drop a B. Dave Walters on people. So Haddix has decided to jump into this room, and with remind me, do you have the force?
Yeah, I have the force
Yes.
speed. Yep.
Mara
Okay.
handed her bead over to Haddix.
I'm sneakily doing this because again, surprise is important.
And
Cool,
like
cool.
as Haddix jumps in there or whatever, I'm just like praying, Naralis and Alor, please guide my friend.
Real quick, just to let the audience know, Eliza had to step out. So we might get her back later in the game. I'm not too sure yet, but we're going to be moving forward with just this group. So you've got the drop on them. So you're in really good position right now.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. So what we're going to do here, so go ahead and I would say, B Dave, what is Haddix doing? How are you executing this?
Let me just check one quick thing real quick, because it is going to be an execution. Excellent. I am going to slide down into the room in just the nearest one. You said there's nothing that marks them as important. So the nearest one that I could reach. One of the joys of being, well, I guess I need to roll to see if I even hit him, because a good thing happens when you're an assassin here. That is going to be, sorry, I'm on the wrong tab here. That is going to be an 18 to hit him, which presumably is enough.
Okay.
I'm asking, I'm not telling.
Oh, yeah. Real quick, are you using D&D Beyond? Are you on the game log for that, or?
I am. I mean, well,
Okay.
I roll hard. My character is in the campaign. I usually roll the shiny math click clicks.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So, is 18 good enough to hit? Yeah. Let me just find out which one you hit.
Yep.
So
It's just gonna be the nearest, because I am gonna roll my damage in D&D Beyond, because as a Gloomstalker, my first hit hits harder, and as an assassin, I automatically crit if they're surprised. So even that 18 is like I rolled a 20.
Nice.
So okay. All right. So on that fine fellow is going to be. Hang on, dice are incoming.
What's the fun of critting if it doesn't take you an hour and a half to roll all your damage?
I agree. 37 points of damage on the first attack.
And this is you just dropping in there and using your assassin ability, correct?
Yep, my equa. Yep, just stab the first guy. Does he seem like he's still alive?
He is still alive, actually.
Okay. Second attack, stab him again. Now. Yeah.
Okay.
Now it is just a regular attack, but it's going to be a 22 to hit him, which I assume is enough.
Yes, that is correct.
This is I am more of a oh wait, hang on a second. Let me just check another quick thing. I apologize. All sorts of stuff happens with the subclasses. I just have to double check something with assassinate. Okay. Yeah, okay. I do have advantage against him, but I didn't roll any better there, so that's cool. That is just going to be actually, you know what? If he's still alive, bonus action. No, actually, I'm going to keep my bonus action because it's important for all that's about to happen. So the second time I stab him is a far more respectable 10 points of damage.
So an additional 10 points?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Then I am going to bonus. Well, do I have enough movement that I can just move away from them, or I can use my bonus action to dash if I
Well, it
have
depends.
to. It's up to.
So dropping down from the height you're doing at, that the only movement you can really do right now is that's kind of your movement is dropping down. But you could make an acrobatics check to roll.
No, I have bonus action dash, so I can do another set of movement. So bonus action dash back towards the rope ladder because I don't necessarily want to be farther into this room and throw the bead of force. Throw the bead of force at the table.
Okay, that's going to put you. You're still going to be in the blast radius of that bead of force.
Well, you said the room's big enough. I need to get more than 10 feet away.
Enough. Okay, so you're trying to. So here's the problem with that is you're going to need to use you're going to have to use an action to use the rope. You can get back to the rope. Are you trying to get up the rope again?
No, I'm not trying to get up. I'm just trying. I'm trying to be in the room but out of the blast radius.
Yeah.
Could you action surge maybe?
Yeah.
I'm not a fighter. I can't action surge. I have 3 attacks. I'm good. I've stabbed twice, and I have a bonus action that will let me dash. So I'm still good on action economy because my 3rd attack is throwing the bead. So I stab twice, bead. Well, stab twice, run, bead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they all need to make DC 15 dexterity saves.
Yes, this is how this is going to go down. Okay, so let's do this. Let me just calculate. He took 57 points of damage from you.
He did.
And then you're throwing the bead. Do you have the stats of the bead, or do I need to pull those up?
I just put them in chat. So it's each creature within a 10-foot radius has to make a DC 15 save. It's save or suck.
That's gonna be 6 of them.
Yep. Dang. Or they will take 5d4 points of damage, and if they live, be trapped inside.
Okay, let me do some rolling.
Got it.
That's a lot of. You just nailed a lot of them. All right, so let's do this. Okay, so he's gonna make his dex save. What's the DC again?
15.
15. He's gonna save, and he has evasion, so he takes nothing.
Well, this is save or suck. If they make the save, they're just fine.
You're good. Okay.
Yeah.
So dude is good. Let's roll for everybody else. Okay. Second dude.
Just roll, I guess, 5d20s and just see.
No, and that's going to be a no. So those two. Oh, those were the other two. Okay, and then so almost all of them are getting pegged with this.
Good. The damage is not huge. The damage is only 17, but they are trapped in the sphere of force for a minute.
I was going to say they're going to be removed from the fight.
And when that happens, I just even though all hell's breaking loose down here, I just very calmly look up towards the rope ladder and I'm like, all right, I think it's safe for you all to come on down.
Okay. So okay, so how much damage was it again for the
only 17. But they're trapped.
Okay. So they take the damage no matter what. Is that correct?
If they save, nothing happens. No damage, no trap. They're just fine. If they don't make the save, they are damaged and also trapped.
Gotcha. Okay, now I follow you. Okay, so let me calculate here. Oh God. Okay, so.
Sorry. Creatures that succeeded on the save or are partially within the area are pushed away from the center of the sphere until they are no longer inside of it. So I guess, but harmlessly pushed back, I suppose.
They don't take any damage. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So 17.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I love when he giggles at the numbers he's rolling for his NPCs.
It
means bad things are happening to bad
people.
people.
No, it's funny because all of the underlings saved, the 2 captains failed.
Good.
Which is just remarkable to me. Like all the ones that don't get paid well enough, the ones that kind of are doing all the dirty work, are the ones that got the hell out of the way when all hell broke loose. The 2 captains at the table who are sitting there, both of them failed and are now trapped inside of this thing. However, the guy you hit, which incidentally is boss man in this room, both saved and is still up. So after he takes the hits, you make eye contact with him very briefly, and you don't see anything special about this guy. He just looks like a bearded guy with a hood up, and he was in the middle of saying something to the others when you just hit the table, go into a roll and stab. And as you slash twice and then roll back to the thing and throw that bead of force, you see blood is already swelling underneath the cloak. He's covered himself up in that brief moment where he shouted and screamed as he got attacked. But as you throw that bead of force, his instinct kicks into overdrive. He pulls his foot up and kicks off the table, and a desperate throws himself backwards, basically just kicks his chair back and goes into a roll into the ground and manages to dodge the bead as it pops. You hear a shouting sound. In Skyrim, where sometimes you just throw a spell and all of the loose items everywhere just explode all over the place. It's kind of the same effect. As soon as you throw that bead, it pops and everything in this room explodes out and then in and then out again, except for the poor bastards that were caught in the middle of it. As two of these captains, their screams get swallowed up by this force, this ball of force that just goes. They are sucked into the center of it like a singularity just formed in the middle of the room, and they are tangled up into this glowing, translucent ball of energy. The other thieves who were in the room all kind of did a similar maneuver where they pushed themselves off the table and managed to dodge that. But everyone is looking rattled and shaken, and we are now in initiative.
Woo.
Excellent.
So everyone roll initiative.
Oh
my gosh.
That went well.
I rolled a 20, 22.
Nice. Roll a 2.
25.
Of course. 25.
Well, this boy stacked to go first because it kind of matters a lot that he goes before everyone else.
Here, I'll type it in the thing. Mine was just a 2.
A 2 total?
Yep.
How'd you do, Juniper?
That's a 21 from me.
21. Now I'm going to roll for Smidge.
Bad day. The bad days. Hey, Smidge.
Okay. So Smidge is going to go on a 15. And here we go. Starting at the top of the round, that's going to be Haddix. So after the surprise round, after the bloodletting, after the madness that has just erupted around you, you right now have the floor. What would you like to do? You're back at the center of the table.
Realize when he lives through everything I did, I just sort of turn and look at him and I'm like, Hunter's mark. That man's gonna try and get away.
Okay, you Hunter's mark him.
I Hunter's mark and then proceed to attack.
Hunter's mark is a bonus action, right?
It is.
Cool.
Hold on, let me read something again. I apologize about the way my assassin stuff works.
It's okay. A lot of dice.
A lot of things are happening. Yep, I still have advantage because he has not taken his turn yet, which also means I have my sneak attack back. Now that he is up and moving, is a dirty 20 enough to hit him?
Yes.
Okay, it's a dirty 20 a 19 is a 19 enough to hit him. I think I hit him on a 17, but let me make sure.
Yeah, 19 is enough.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna attack him twice with my equi again. Although I've pulled out the Trident of Warning, like I've dual wielding, but I only stab with the equi because I needed that bonus action. That is going to be 16, 18, 21 points on the first attack.
Okay.
If he is still up, the second one is not going to hit nearly as hard. It was 21.
He's still up.
21, 11, 14 on the next one. 21 and 14.
You want to tell me how he dies? What are the last moments? What are his last moments on Earth like? And I should say in Forgotten Realms. What are his last moments?
I stab and it's like for a second, it's like I'm not there anymore. And then behind him and stab right up through his heart. And I just lean down next to his ear and say, "That's for the papas." And that's it.
Yeah, he had just enough time. He had just enough time to understand that he was in deep shit.
Mm-hmm.
Just enough time to understand that he was under attack. Just enough time to react. And then your face and his face was the last thing he saw.
Now that me mates are coming by, I'm gonna use my okay, so give me the lay of this room. Obviously we came in the room. There are multiple entrances and exits, one entrance exit.
Yeah, so it looks very similar to the room that you guys were in when you were in your hideout. It's the 3rd floor, so it looks like the attic room. It also looks like a meeting room of some kind. You're on a very large, round, crude table. It's a little wobbly. I wouldn't say like you managed to get some attacks in here and it's not been a problem. Everyone's pushed away from the table. So there is about, looks like first of all, there are 2 people stuck inside the sphere. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 4 other thieves in here that are kind of spread out throughout the room and actually surrounding you at the moment. But they are pushed away from the table and they just watched you murder the big guy.
Bonus action hide. I'll be right with you, gentlemen.
Okay, so you just kind of roll off the table and vanish. So make your check, make your stealth check.
That is going to be 28.
I don't think it's statistically possible for them to spot you.
You never know. Might roll a 20. Who could say?
You never know. They might roll a 20.
But it is just like gack, 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 gack.
That's Haddix's round.
Yeah, that's it for me.
That's
Oh my God.
Wait, real quick. I have a quick question though. Is hide a bonus? Your hide is a bonus action, right?
Because I'm a rogue, yeah.
Okay, so you can't use it because you threw up your hunter's mark as a bonus action.
So there's some debate about this and how you want to interpret it. That whether or not you can do those things with your bonus action, because anyone can, or if you have a separate thing you can do that is only those roguish actions. So it's up to you. If not, I will just move back towards the rope ladder and stay visible.
You can move back towards the rope ladder. I'm gonna, but after playing a monk, I now know why that action economy is so stringent, because if I could just bonus action my way through stuff, I would own the battlefield. But I'm gonna say in this particular instance, I'll let you get back to the rope, but you've used your bonus action to pop that hunter's mark.
That is fine with me.
Okay.
Yep. I don't try and climb the rope. I just go near where my friends are coming from.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So you're right in the middle. Okay. So next up is actually next is Druge.
All right. So is it only like a 10-foot fall, or is it further than a 10-foot fall to this?
It's further than a 10-foot fall. I would say just barely. I would say it's about 14 feet down.
Okay. All right. So I've got feather fall. I guess I may as well benefit
perfect
friends with that. So I'll say, patience, guard our 6. Coppers, let's go. And I'll jump off and I'll feather fall and just get down to the table and benefit including grins. I'll benefit everybody else with the feather fall.
Oh, cool.
Okay. So you pop that feather fall. All of y'all can basically, as you see Druge drift down as he throws up the feather fall, you all now can just leap in without any problems.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to use the rope at all.
Sweet.
So Druge, your action is going to be popping that feather fall. By the time you get down there, you are now going to be ready to get into combat for the next round. Feather fall is not a bonus action, right? That's a full action.
So I think feather fall is a bonus action.
It is a bonus.
It might even be a reaction.
I think
it might even be a reaction, actually. Yeah. I think feather fall is a reaction.
Yeah, reaction.
Yeah. Which is another reason why it's so good. Okay,
right, well,
so you got your full round here.
I'll just leap down and I'll just pick one of these guys and chop them then. In that case, since I can.
All right, cool.
All right. I just jump on one of these guys and I get a 19 with my battle axe to hit.
Okay, that's going to hit.
All right, and I do 9 points of damage.
Okay. He is still alive, but probably didn't expect Loxodon with the battle axe to come leaping through a window that doesn't exist. Keep in mind, y'all aren't coming through the window that's above them, which is also alarming. There's nobody survives this. They're going to be drinking a lot afterwards.
And then I'll use my bonus action to hide.
Okay.
But I didn't do so well. Only a 10 on that.
Okay. All right. So yours, I'm going to write DC 10 on that. So if they try to spot you, that's 10. Okay, so that's gonna be your action. Next up is Juniper.
Well, my friend here blew them up. So now I think it's my role to blew them up. Please make DC 15 dex saves against fairy fire. Also, as far as I can tell, in the Bead of Force, it's not so high level that magic can't go through.
No, I'm rolling the saving throws for the two guys inside the Bead of Force right now.
Good.
Fascinatingly enough,
Let
I'm
me
gonna
know
give
about
them-
those in particular because I might use my Star of Woe thing on
Well,
them
so
today.
here's what I'm gonna rule.
Mhm.
It's a dex save, correct?
That is.
I'm gonna rule the fact that they've been pulled into the center of this ring of force. It doesn't make any sense that they have full range to be able to dodge out of the way of this. I'm gonna give them disadvantage. They have limited room to move. They're stuck on, inside this cage. So I'm gonna let them roll, but they're gonna roll at disadvantage. That's a fail.
Since talking is a free action, I would just say, Juniper, put the bead in the bag of holding. There's no oxygen in there.
Ooh.
It only weighs a pound. You can move it. You can put the bead in the bag of holding, and they'll just suffocate.
Oh, he succeeded.
But I think it expands out to the sphere for a minute and then it beads again. It's sort of my read of the bead.
It says it can be moved, it can be picked up, and it weighs a pound. It does not say that it grows larger. It just says they're pulled into it. It doesn't say anything about it getting bigger.
Okay, so all but of the bandits that have been hit so far, of these thieves, all but two of them succeeded. So 3 of these, and everyone that's currently trapped inside that large sphere that's hovering just over the other side of the table where the bead exploded, they utterly failed. So they are glowing like the night sky right now. So your fairy fire pops off and advantage is up on all of this stuff.
So can we get a ruling on whether the bead can go in the bag or whether the bead is big bead right now?
Oh, the bead? Oh, is it a question of what it looks like right now?
The actual size of the bead.
Oh, okay. So the bead itself.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna change sides to say it is 10 feet. So it's a 10-foot radius, and it says a sphere of translucent force encloses the area. So yes, it would be too big.
All right.
The sphere can be picked up, and the magic causes it only to weigh a pound, which means you lift them up inside the sphere, but it's 10 feet.
Ha. I'm
You know
not
what
the one who lifts.
They're literally kind of like hovering inside of this thing. They cannot. You can just lift them up. You could roll them if you wanted to, like, Charlie Brown and the pumpkin. You could just roll them around.
Little hamster ball.
Yeah.
With people who failed us. But for my bonus action, then having blew up our enemies. Yeah.
I was just to clarify, the bead is one use.
Yeah. It's done.
So
it explodes.
So it blew up. But yeah, the sphere force, they are stuck. So yeah.
Love it. I will look back up the hole whence we came through the illusion that I know perfectly well about, and beyond up into the stars that I so rarely get to see at street level. And as I do, I'll take a little bit of their form, and I will expend a use of my wild shape and take starry form as an archer.
Okay.
As a bonus action, on activation, I make a ranged spell attack, dealing damage.
All right.
So, yes.
Do the thing. Who are you attacking? There's the two. I mean, you can attack any of them that have fairy fire, obviously. One of them that's been fairy fire has been injured significantly from a very large loxodon with a battle axe.
Yep. Always focus down. That's what I've learned.
Okay.
So that is a 24 to hit.
That's going to impact.
Oh, good. And does just a bit of 7 damage.
Just 7?
Yeah, just 7.
Just 7. You want to describe his death for me? He's got a slash from a battle axe, and then I'm guessing an arrow impacts. What is that? How does that happen?
So, having been hit by a battle axe, stumbles back and is suddenly blue, looks down at his hands, and then at his chest, as what was once blue, turns red, and an arrow blooms out from it.
Kabloom.
You John Wick this dude into oblivion. That is a dead thief. All right. Next up, peeking down from that window that you were just looking up from, is a gnome with a light crossbow who is going to open fire on one of these guys who is fairy fired. So I'm going to make a roll here and see what he gets. See what he gets. He's got advantage. Oh, he crits. Okay, he rolls a nat 20.
Good thing, Smidge.
Okay. And then the modifier, because of his dex bonus. One shots him. These guys have 11 hit points. One shots this guy. This bandit really doesn't get a chance to even open his mouth. There's just a you assume that whatever he was shooting at is never going to move again, and that's pretty accurate. It buries, that crossbow bolt buries itself into somebody, and one of the rogues goes down. Is it my turn finally? Do I finally get to go? You guys killing all my NPCs. All right, so next
We're
up,
terrible like that.
The two bandit captains. I'm going to use their round to shout profanities at both of you, at all of you, as they tumble around inside of this wall of force that they cannot get out of. Only breathable air can pass through. Never mind, you don't hear anything.
But they're going to.
Yep. They don't hear it. Okay, so you just actually doesn't even tell me how long it lasts.
1 minute.
1 minute. They got a full. Okay, so they've got a full. They're out of this fight. So
they have 10. No, there are 10 rounds in there. Yeah, no, they're done for.
Okay, so one of these guys that actually succeeded on the saving throw is going to make a mad dash for the stairs. He is actually. That is going to give Druge an attack of opportunity on this guy because he is too close to the Loxodon who just slashed his friend up with a battle axe. So you can try to.
Unfortunately, and I hate being this dude because I hate attack of opportunity anyway. He already used his reaction on Featherfall.
That's right, you did. Yep, that's right. Thank you.
I'm a monster.
Your 10-foot reach, Haddix.
I mean, it's up to you to tell me if I'm within range of the guy or not.
You have
Yeah.
You're on the table. He's gonna get away. Yeah, he's basically. I'm just gonna make a quick check here. Yep. So he basically leaps up over the railing and just skips the entire staircase entirely and plummets to the bottom of the stair, just thudding against the ground. You don't know how he landed, but the impact is loud, and you can hear a door being flung open when he gets down there. But it is like a mad desperation, like a throw yourself aside kind of deal. And he is gone. He vanishes right over the side of that staircase. His friend is going to attempt to do the same thing. Unfortunately, that's going to put him into an attack of opportunity for to make this matters worse for Mara.
Yes.
You're going to get an attack of opportunity on this guy as he's trying to get away. He is on the other side of the table.
Okay,
so he's going to have to run right past you.
I think I leaped down, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did. Oh, cool. Is he close?
Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. That's right. Featherfall was given to everybody, and everybody has gone down, and you're last in the initiative.
Well, I'm assuming that this guy is within 60 feet, right?
Oh, he's within 60 feet, yes.
Perfect. Mara is just going to heft her mace, her heavenly mace, and just cast Spiritual Weapon, which has a range of 60 feet.
Well, it's an attack of opportunity, so you can only just unless you have Warcaster, you just gotta swing at him.
Okay, so opportunity. Where are they?
Yeah, unless you have Warcaster, it's just a melee attack.
Oh, I guess. Well, it's a bonus action. Oh crap! I'm trying
Love
to find...
Warcaster though.
The Warcaster is super sexy. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I won't be able to do anything.
He's
I
gonna
mean,
run.
you can just attack him. Yeah, just hit him with your weapon.
Okay.
He's gonna
I guess
run.
I could jump down there and attack him at the same.
On
right?
your initiative, it's his round right now, so I'm gonna roll his dex
right.
to see.
Yeah, I was trying to do something from a distance, but
He's going to
Yeah.
attempt to do what his pal did, and he's going to make an acrobatics check to try to leap over that railing and just go straight to the bottom stair.
No.
So I'm gonna roll. I roll a natural 2. So he tries
He
to
trips
go up
over the
over
railing.
that balcony, and instead, what ends up happening is, in his panic, his knee actually catches the bottom of the railing. So he does it. It's like a false start. He tries to jump, but he ends up staying right where he is. And because he's not as good as everybody else, that's his whole action for the round. So now it's all you, Mara.
Okay, all right. I guess Mara will finally leap down gracefully with the feather. What is it? Featherfoot?
Featherfall.
Yeah, Featherfall.
Yeah, drift
And
on down.
now who's within range here?
I mean, you still probably have about half your movement left.
Okay.
So 30 feet, 15, you're well within. You can move right up and attack this guy who's tried to leap over the railing.
All right, I will. Yeah, Mara will just dash towards this guy trying to escape, and
Okay.
well, let's see what you do. There's
It's
so
all yours.
many. I guess I'm gonna just. I'd like to do spiritual weapon though, but I'm so close. Might as well just. I'm gonna smack him with the mace.
Okay.
So
make your roll.
Let's see. Yeah, Mara just hefts her mace and is so disgusted by them that she's not even gonna deign to cast anything on these backstabbing thieves. And she just hefts it up, and
that is a hit.
That is definitely a hit. That's a natural 20.
That is definitely a hit. You just critted this guy. So roll your damage, double your damage dice.
Oh crap! I'll just do it again. So first, double. Let's see.
This is such a vicious surprise attack.
One more time, I think. So what is that? 5 + 5. So it would be 10 total.
Yeah, and just so you know, if you click on damage rolls, if you right click, you actually have the option.
Oh, I
of
see.
selecting.
There it is.
Yeah. It took me a hot minute to learn that because I didn't know you could do that. But
Okay, I just doubled it.
Yeah, that's fine. So 10 damage total.
Yeah, 10 damage total. Yeah, Mara just
okay
smacks this mace down upon this person. Yeah, Neuralis and Alor, please guide these fools into the afterlife.
Wow. Well, his headache is significant.
Yeah.
The impact of the mace on the back, you can hear something popping as he lets out a shout and slams against the railing as you crash down on top of him with this metal mace. He's not dead, but he's certainly expressing it. The expression on his face certainly seems to suggest that he wishes he was. And that's actually the bottom of the round. That's going to take us back to the top of the round now.
Okay.
You guys have total control of the situation at the moment. So we're back to you, Haddix.
The two guys that are in the sphere are the only living enemies right now.
Mm-hmm. And they haven't been touched.
No, there's a guy with one hit point.
Oh, that's
fighting
right.
Mara.
There's a dude with 1 hit point. There's a dude with 1 hit point that just got a mace to the back of the mace to the face. And then there's a bandit who just jumped down that staircase and tried to get away.
It's a three-story staircase.
No, this is just a single flight of stairs that goes. Think of it like an attic staircase going down to the next floor.
I am going to bonus action hide. I'm going to move my hunter's mark to this dude with a 1 hit point. I'm going to move. You know what? Super random. I'm actually going to you move my hunter's mark to Juniper, just so I will know where they are. That's my bonus action. My action, I'm going to hide, but I'm going to use my movement to head down the stairs because they know we're coming. So I need to intercept whatever's coming up the stairs that is not going to know I'm there. So I'm like,
okay.
I will just say out loud, going down, and then I'm just gone.
So you go over the side of the staircase and you're going to use your hide action.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in that
I'm hold on a second. No, not hide, stealth, because I'm moving. I'm going to stealth. Go though. I'm heading down the stairs towards wherever after that guy.
So what you're going to see as soon as you get across what's funny is you're actually moving around to the top of the stairs so you don't enter into the combat zone of this dude who has a single hit point left. What you see is going down the stairs, the door at the bottom of the staircase has just been flung open. There's nobody there. And you see sort of like lamplight, the ambience on the floor, the wooden floor that's waiting for you at the bottom of the stairs.
Go down the stairs. All
right. Yeah, you can use your movement and go ahead and roll stealth just to see if we can keep it. This should be pretty easy for you, Gloomstalker.
You would think. Well, it's not as good this time. It's only 26.
Okay. So you get to the bottom of the stairs. You're not going to step into the light. You just get to the bottom of the stairs, which is going to give you an opportunity to look around before you actually enter into the room.
As a handy bit. If I'm in the dark, any creature that uses dark vision cannot see me. I'm invisible to dark vision.
That's so cool.
Oh yeah. You're the boogeyman's boogeyman. Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
Okay. So you get to the bottom of the stairs. I'm going to give you a description. You briefly can see that you can see sort of the disappearing ankle of that one guy who got to the bottom of the stairs. It's just turned the corner and you can hear him shouting as you get down there, but you don't see anybody. It looks like you're looking onto what looks like a balcony, maybe, and looks like it goes down another flight of stairs. It's probably like the midsection of the entire complex is what you're looking at. You're already in your mind, you're already getting an idea of like, this is probably the sleeping quarters or where everyone else is up on the second floor.
Well, that's all I can do right now, but I'm gonna stay on his trail. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right, so then that's going to lead us to the next one, which is Druge.
All right, so looking up, how big was the hatchway that I created? Was it like a 5 foot wide hatchway, or was it huge?
Really, it's up to you, man.
Yeah, it's kind of up to you. You can decide how big it was because it had to fit you as well as the Goliath that was jumping down there as well.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, as long as it's a 10 foot wide door that I made, then I will seize this bubble and I will climb up the rope, just bounce it like a balloon.
Oh no!
Up to the ceiling, and I'll spike it out over water.
Well, I tell you what, if you're willing to spend your narrative, point, I will say that you made sure to make that door 10 by 10 feet.
You know what? I did.
Okay.
I thought we might need to carry some stuff out there. I think that's important.
We'll say this was part of the plan. Your narrative point is to use that bubble and get whoever you get in it outside. So I'll just need you to make an athletics check.
Sure.
Oh my God.
You're just gonna spike them out over water, Dave. I love it.
17.
Okay, you're fine. So yes, so you are in the bewilderment on their face as you reach over and them being only weighing a pound in the sphere of force, you gotta just palm it for a second and bounce them around, and they're looking at you helplessly. You can see them shouting at you. You make your way over to the rope, and using one hand, you just kind of like bounce them around and push the entire the illusion that you had set up just kind of fades away as you exit the top of into the roof. They are exposed out to the night air, and you can see the anger and rage on their face start shifting into pure horror as you exit to the top of the roof and they see where they are. What are you going to do with them?
You get to emulate the coppers, high flying, profiling, gold chain wearing, son of a gun. And I'm just smack them out there. Woo! And let them fly.
So, the last you ever see of these two is two dudes hovering in the middle of a sphere of force, just tumbling through the air. You imagine shouting like cops that were chasing Smokey and the Bandit, just flying off into the moonlight and vanishing behind one of the houses that's also 3 floors up. And they're gone.
Okay.
And that is how you remove 2 minor NPCs from an entire combat and then literally volleyball spike them off the 3rd floor roof. That's going to remove them completely from combat. Juniper, what are you doing?
Well, there's one poor sad soul with one poor sad hit point. And the archer in Constellation along my body draws their bow to take a shot.
Okay.
With an 18 on the die, it hits, and my modifier alone tells the story. And so then
he goes, "Hey!" He slumps over the railing as the arrow just sticks out the back of his neck.
Free now to focus on more important things. Can I cast Locate Object on a teleportation circle?
Very good question. I'm inclined to say no, but I'm going to look that up real quick.
No.
I don't think it counts as an object. 1 second. But you know, sometimes in the text.
I mean, it says kinds of object like apparel, jewelry, furniture, tool, or weapon. So it's really, do you consider it to be an object?
Right. Okay.
It's funny that you say that, because I was going to cast Locate Object on that guy's pants that just ran to find him.
Oh, I mean, he's bright blue. I figure you can probably get him.
That's not bad. Hold up 1 sec. I'm going to pull up my resources here.
It's you draw a 10-foot diameter circle on the ground, inscribed with sigils that link to your location to a permanent teleportation circle. So, I mean, I would submit, and a shimmering portal opens within the circle you drew and remains open. I mean, it seems like it's, the circle with the runes.
There's no better locate that I can think of.
It's up to you whether or not that is an object. I mean,
that would be, because then why can't you just locate people by writing? You could locate somebody, say, by the thing they wrote on, but I would say no, probably not be able to use locate object on inscription.
It is what you say it is.
But if there was like an altar or something, you might be able to do that.
Well, what about it's what did you say that the rune was inscribed with? Like, is there a material component or something to teleportation circle that they use for, like, can I cast it on the chalk?
There almost certainly is, because teleportation circles are rituals.
Yeah.
It's rare chalks and inks infused with precious gems, but the spell consumes them, so maybe not.
I mean,
seems like,
in that you can't spend it anymore. But if I wanted to locate,
but you guys do know where the circle is. You have the map to the place.
Okay.
Yeah. So you do know how to find it. It's on the ground floor.
All right.
Yeah.
Then I think from there, I'll just feather fall right down.
Okay.
And
to the bottom of the staircase.
Proceed, as far down as I can go, because I'm feather falling. It's fine.
Okay. So Haddix, you get down there as well. At this point, you can all move without concern to the bottom of the staircase.
Okay.
So we can say that Druge rejoins you all after giving two of these rogues a wonderful ET moment.
I will. I mean, I keep moving. In terms of economy, I have to break.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't wait for them. Like, when I can go, I go. Yeah.
I'm dashing back towards them as well.
Okay, so you're actually, when you get here, you actually are seeing, Haddix, when you get around that corner to see where that guy is, you're actually seeing windows being thrown open, and he is literally getting ready to leap out the window on the second floor. You also hear some shouting taking place, but it looks like people are, the ferocity of the attack in which you guys initiated upstairs has caused him to go into a full-fledged panic, and he is just trying to get out. You don't hear anybody else on this floor.
Was he previously injured or no?
No, he hasn't been touched yet.
Would I have an opportunity to attack him before he goes out the window?
Let's make an initiative roll.
Okay.
Because my instinct is he doesn't stand a chance. However, you never know.
It's true. It's a 24.
Okay, 1 sec. He's not gonna, unless he rolls a natural 20. There's no.
You never know.
Oh, 11. Go ahead.
Can I reach him, or would it need to be a ranged attack?
It would need to be no, you can reach him because he's using his action to get up into this windowsill and throw himself into the street.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to move my hunter's mark to him on the off chance that this goes poorly, especially because I know Juniper was behind me.
Okay.
And the first hit is going to be 23 to hit him, which I guess is enough.
Yeah, that's gonna be enough.
Where'd you go? Okay. That is going to be 16. Oh, actually, since this is now the first turn of a new combat, I get another D8. Okay, so that's going to be 10, 20, 25 points of damage on the first hit.
So his death is so swift. But here's the problem. As he dies, you slam the blade into him as he's about to make the leap. On the street below, a corpse slams into the cobblestone from about 20 feet up. And
do I, since I have 2 attacks, do I have an opportunity to use my second attack as a grapple to hold him before he falls out? Like,
you wouldn't need to make a grapple attack.
Okay.
Yeah, no. This would be the equivalent. This would be the equivalent of like drawing a weapon or something like that. Technically, this would be the perfect opportunity to use fast hands if you were a thief. But in this particular case, it would be too punishing. If you want to stop him from falling, you can do it.
Yeah, hold and I wrap my hand around his mouth so he can't scream. And as the blood is kind of starting to pour out, I just lean into his ear and I say, you know, at least I did you the courtesy of dying as you lived. My family didn't get that benefit. And just let him drop to the ground.
There's a theory that people upon instant death might be able to hear the final words of those spoken around them when they're getting to the boatman. You're not entirely sure, but you killed him with such speed and efficiency that you get 3 words into that before he is gone. There's a good chance, however, though, somewhere in the afterlife, he's thinking he's still jumping out the window, but instead he's standing before the river Styx.
It's more for me than for him anyway. And keep moving. Like I'm towards the destination.
Okay.
Yep.
You can hear a lot of movement. At this point, you've cleared the floor. You just cleared that room of 9 people. You guys get down to the floor. The second floor looks like it's completely empty, but you can hear movement on the ground floor. And then you hear a woman shouting, "Go check it!" About that time, Smidge runs up and goes, "We don't have long. They're going to find out that the headquarters is under attack. Let's move quick."
Right.
All right, what do you want to do? I can make an illusion where we all hide by the door or something and wait for him to come in and then attack him from behind.
Yeah, we could do that. What do you want to do?
Let's not bother attacking them. Give them an illusion of us to go attack. Let them be distracted with the place upstairs they think we are, and we sneak ourselves where they don't want us to be.
Brilliant. Let's go with that.
Yes.
Okay,
Minor
I can do
illusion
that.
is easy enough to create an auditory effect of something happening upstairs.
Yeah, I can do that one easy. The other one I have to think harder on. It's tougher, and it doesn't have any noise. It just makes a picture.
Okay.
So the auditory one, that's easy.
You know, you give some picture, I could give some sound.
Okay, you got it. I'll make us run up the stairs. You make the sounds.
I'll minor illusion the sound.
And I'll go ahead and use silent image to create the guys running up the stairs.
Fully by Juniper.
Okay. So are you guys, and I'm guessing y'all are going to hide in the rooms after you pop this off? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rooms are open and they're mostly empty. You can tell that the rooms have been lived in as you all slide into them. It looks like it looks like this was accurate. It looks like you caught them unawares, like they did not expect to be under attack like this. And then let me just roll some dice to see if they save. They have to make will saves, if I remember correctly. I don't even know. Let's see.
Int, I believe, investigation.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I gotta concentrate, and yeah, they have to examine and then they get to make an intelligence investigation check against my DC.
Yeah, no, the situation doesn't warrant them examining it. They just see and they assume, because everything is so urgent right now, they think they're under attack. So I'm going to rule that they're not going to examine. I'm going to let them make their DC checks, but I'm going to put them at disadvantage.
Right.
So let me roll. So 4 guys come running up the stairs. They do not look like pushovers like the other ones you guys just attacked. They look closer to the big guy that, and I didn't roll over a 10 for any of them.
No, then yeah, we're good.
So you all watch, much like a Benny Hill card, just like these guys just go running right past y'all and go charging up the stairs,
Right, they'll
leaving
figure that out
whoever is
soon enough.
downstairs completely alone.
Let's go.
Perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
Good work, Drush.
Okay. You all pile out of the room and immediately charge down the staircase. When you get to the bottom of the staircase, 2 things become obvious. 1, you've arrived at the spot you're looking for. And 2, you just caught the boss of the Dark Daggers completely by surprise. As you all come pounding down the staircase and filter into the room, you see a 60 by 60 stone room down here that is sort of the foundation for the house. It's pretty sparse. There's not a lot here. It looks like you're getting the idea that this house really just functions for utility. It's not much of a storage space. However, you do see what looks like a beautiful ornate chest that can be carried in 2 hands. And when I say ornate, it looks like the trim around the chest itself is made of pure platinum. And it kind of arcs and spins in a very Celtic Noddish kind of way. But whatever the chest itself is made out of is hard to tell. At first glance, it looks like polished, glossed, like blue wood. The blue wood itself looks like it has gem inlays. And you can see what clearly look like 2 large diamonds and a ruby at the center of this chest. Just looking at it, since you're from a Thieves Guild, just looking at this chest is probably about 2,000 gold, just looking at it. Whatever's inside must be interesting, but the chest itself is a payday if ever you saw one.
Mm.
Standing near this chest, you see a human woman who is dressed just like a citizen of Waterdeep. But the moment you guys spot her, particularly you, Haddix, you know an assassin when you see one. She is standing very calmly, eyeing all of you. But next to her, you see the woman of the hour. There is a tiefling woman in here who is dressed in robes and is holding what looks like a wand in her hand as all of you have approached. And there's a beat where all of you just kind of look at each other. And there's no sound. There's just this shocking, and apparently she recognizes who you all are. She sees Smidge and she starts connecting the dots. And you hear her say, "Helm's Iron Ass. The coppers, I thought you were all dead. Well, see to that." And she nods to her female friend to her right, who immediately draws blades. Let's roll initiative. As y'all are in welcome to the boss fight, everybody. It's good to have y'all here.
A natural 20 this time. So it's a 26.
16 for me.
My 20
16 for me as well.
Okay. Good Lord. So 16. 16.
Here, I'll put in chat 26.
26. And who else did we have? We had 2 16s, a 26, and what were you, Sam?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Holy hell. Yeah, okay. That's a really good initiative. That's a good initiative round for you guys. Okay, so dirty 20 for Juniper. You got a 16 for 16, and then a 23 for Haddix.
26.
26. Okay. I opened the wrong encounter, so I had to do do over. Okay. So starting, let me roll for our, Smidgen is practically frothing at the mouth with rage at the start of this combat round. He rolls a 14. Okay, not great for Smidgen. So let's start. That's going to be you, Haddix. You're up first.
Equa and the Trident out.
Okay.
Move my hunter's mark to the tiefling, and I'm going after her because the spellcasters are more dangerous than my fellow assassins.
Yep. Okay, you go after her immediately.
First attack is 23 to hit her.
That's gonna hit.
And I don't think I'm gonna drop her on the second on the first hit. So the second hit's gonna be a 21.
Yep.
Presumably is enough. All right.
Yep.
So the first hit on the Lady of Teeth. Ooh, I rolled well though. 18. She's 26 on the first hit.
26 damage.
Yep, 26 on the first hit. The second hit is a far more respectable 15. And then the third hit, because I'm a Gloomstalker, presumably none of them were surprised, correct? I did not add surprise dice to this. I mean, they kind of knew what this was, right? Okay.
Yep.
The third hit is a 21.
21 damage. Good.
No. 21 to hit. 21 to hit.
21 to hit.
Yeah. Only 14 damage.
Okay. Yeah, you get up there and unleash blades. You start going to town. She throws her hands up to try to protect herself, and she does a pretty good job moving around, but the blades bite. You can feel the slashes on her arm. She's getting completely chopped up. As you get into her face, you hear her already starting an incantation, and she manages to hold it together. She throws herself back, but you do see a spray of blood as you get her good on that first strike, just spray across the wall. That's your action. She is up next.
Okay.
She is going to point that wand at you. Let's see. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
That is not necessarily my strength. Let's see. Let's see. That's actually not terrible on the die. That is the wisdom save.
Yep.
Dirty 20.
You are going to succeed. She cast a 5th level spell on you. She burned a dominate person, which would have been very bad for this party. Yeah, she would have issued commands. You were conscious. She utters a word and casts an enchantment at you. You can feel the sorcery as she's pointing the wand. She utters something with hate in her eyes. And for a split second, you want to please her. No, you want to kill her. She needs to die.
I just say, oh, darling, charms don't work on me, only money. That's it.
She'll bookmark that. It might be time to break out some money. All right. Next up is going to be you, Juniper.
Yes, the starry archer will fire at this spellcaster.
Okay. Yep, dog pile.
25 to hit.
25 definitely hits.
For a max die, 12 damage.
12 damage.
No, don't be taking my catchphrases.
I'll throw them back to you. Catch.
She is bloodied. You can tell just those fine velvet red robes are soaking right now as she has taken some serious injuries. The arrow is sticking cleanly out of her shoulder.
Now, the other one, assassin, yes?
Yep. There's, yes, there is an assassin in this room. There's also a third person y'all haven't spotted yet. But I'll go ahead and tell you that these are not bosses, just to give you all heads up. These are just other members of the Thieves Guild here. So
that's fair enough. Nonetheless, I have not seen one of them, so I suppose I can't be accountable to them.
That's correct.
So the one I have seen should make a DC 15 Wisdom save and subtract 5 from the result.
Okay, let's see. I roll a 13 minus 5. So yeah, no, he fails.
They're a mouse now.
Okay, he's polymorphed into a mouse.
Yep.
Collapses to the floor. Squeaking noises.
There you go.
Done
I don't think
and
this
done.
one will be a new friend. I
I'm
want
removing-
to move up a little bit, scoop up, put into bag.
Okay, you move over.
Of
It
holding.
starts to screech and like kind of bounce away, but you easily just scoop it back up.
Yep.
And you put him in a bag.
That'll be a problem for them in about a minute.
His friend, who is well hidden as you all come charging in, is going to make an attack on the druid. Oh my god, do I finally get to attack you guys? Comes leaping out of the dark with the scimitar. I roll a nat 17, so that's a 20 to hit you.
That will hit.
You take 4 points of damage. I'm sure the druid will be just fine. Are you okay? Do we need to take
well, I need to make a con save roll.
Oh, right, because you got a concentration up.
Yep.
Okay.
I do not make it. So inside the bag of holding,
Inside the bag
that
of holding,
poor
that
person
poor
is now a
bastard.
person.
Oh my god.
I know it's been said many a time, but after today's game, I can accurately tell you once again that I love D&D.
No air in a bag of holding.
No air in a bag of holding.
Because there is no air in a bag of holding. So yes, indeed. That gentleman is going. Oh man, bummer.
They should not have aimed
What a
at
way
me.
to go. All right. So you take 4 points of damage as this guy inadvertently condemns his buddy to death. At that point, we're going on to Druge. And Druge, you now see the second guy who's jumped out of the dark and has managed to get a cut in on the druid.
All right, so I'm just gonna announce. I'm gonna kind of flex. It's like, if roguery was an art, I'd be working in oils and you'd be working in finger paint, brother. And I'm going to activate my bonus action to grow a size. I'm a rune knight, so I can kind of grow a size.
Oh, no way. No
Yeah.
way. I love
So
rune
I'm gonna
knights.
go all the way,
Giant rune.
go all the way to large. Yeah, and I get an extra D6. So if I see the druid in trouble, I'm gonna. That's who I'm going for first. I'm gonna be like, "Oh yeah, it's on!" And I'll be shaking, and I'll come up there and swing with my axe and take this guy out. Hopefully.
Okay, so the Loxodon is now large. I just want to point out that that's up to 15 feet tall. So the Loxodon is bumping into the ceiling right now as you charge up there.
So if I rolled a natural 1, but I do have the luck ability. So I
And
would
you have
like
the fate point. We still have a fate point, so.
Okay, so either way, can I use luck?
Use
or would I-
use the luck first.
Use
Fate's
the luck, okay.
Fate's a communal resource.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, here's the luck point. All right, that's much better. That is a 24.
I just love the
actually
idea of
more
you
than that.
rolling
It's like a 27. 27. I get double my proficiency.
I love that if that had been a natural one, I just love the oh yeah, and you get up there and accidentally squish Juniper. Oh no,
That would have been awfully bad. All right. So instead, I get to do an extra little extra damage here. Let's see what I got.
Yeah.
All right. So 12 points.
Okay. So you go full Hogan on this guy. He goes, "Ooh, brother, here it comes!" Just come charging up there, and he turns and looks, and you can see the reason why he was so easy to hit and kill is because he did not believe what he was seeing. As he turns,
I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna ask you a question as I chop through him.
Okay. As you complete the stroke, and the mutilated remains, both halves of him collapse to the floor. What was your question?
Just ask you a question.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It just I had to do it. I apologize. It doesn't it doesn't have to be sensical. That was it. I was in I'm in giant mode.
I understand. Mara, what are you up to? What are you doing?
I would like to, I guess go for our spellcaster. But
Okay. Yeah.
bonus action. I want to use my spiritual weapon, but it's a bonus action. I could just do that, right?
A
first.
bonus. You can pop off a bonus
Just
action. Yeah.
popping off with that. Yeah. So from a
been
distance,
dying
within
to do
60
it.
feet. I'm
Okay.
keeping my distance still.
Okay.
Because I want to like keep, range from this spellcaster and the assassin. So Mara's just going to like, outstretch a hand towards the spellcasty lady and see if she hits with spiritual weapons. So like trying to manifest this mace next to her and to just swing and hit her. And what is that? Ooh, 12 to hit.
To hit on her.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Wisdom modifier?
Nope, that's not going to do it.
Dang. Okay,
Nope,
well I guess
it's not going to do it.
You still have your plot point thing, and we have 10 minutes left. So if you want to do something super deluxe, this would be the moment to do that.
You know
Now's
what?
the time.
All right, so Mara like manifests this like brilliant mace, and I forgot what her name was. Oh my god, the spellcaster woman. Anyway,
we don't know her name.
Right?
Yeah,
you don't know her name. Oh, okay.
Corpses of water.
She hasn't been introduced. Her name is Treem, but she hasn't been introduced.
Okay, thinking that it's gonna swing at her, like, I trick her. It's not actually swinging at her, and it swings at like the floorboards underneath her with like full force, like, and I channel all of the energy I have into my deity, praying to Naralis, the keeper of souls, to just, I don't know, sweep her from her feet and maybe into a hole underneath her. So instead, I'm just gonna, do that, I guess, with my little narrative.
Okay, make your go.
All right, so let's try that again. 12 plus. I did like my normal die this time. 12 plus. 1 second. Oh, okay. 16.
16 hits.
Oh, thank God. Okay, so that happens instead. I guess trying to.
What kind of damage does she take?
She's gonna be taking some. Let's see. D&D Beyond. 6
points.
6 points of damage. Yes.
Bam. She just took
Okay.
6 spiritual points of damage. All right. There is a gnome that is behind you, Mara, who steps out from behind you, who's reloaded a crossbow bolt. He starts shouting some horrific profanities that are he's not worthy of some of the things that are coming out of his mouth, but the pure rage and fury coming out of Smidgen right now, facing down the person that is responsible for bringing down the coppers. He is going to take a shot. And he's going to fire, and he rolls a natural 1.
Beautiful.
So
I will trade in one of our fate points to let him re-roll.
I was gonna say I
Okay.
can't use a luck point, but we can use a fate point.
Yep.
I'm rolling again. Here we go.
Okay.
15 this time, and
All right.
with his bonus, that is going to hit because he's got a +5.
Okay.
So, so let me roll some damage. Okay, not great, but not bad. Not bad. She's going to take 8 points of damage.
Okay, and can I use a
Crossbow bolt.
reaction, my Stone's Endurance, which reduces any damage dealt to me by 1d12 plus 1?
No, you didn't get hit though.
Oh, I did.
You didn't get hit. No, this is
Yeah.
Smidgen attacking her.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought you were. Oh, I thought it was like some secret
yeah.
person. When you
No,
said
no
gnome, I was like, you didn't say snitch. I was like, gnome. Oh, there's a
No.
gnome attacking us now. Okay.
It's your round now, Haddix.
Thank you.
So to be clear, who got turned into a mouse and suffocated?
Okay, so this is what happened last round, and it's interesting. I have to describe what's happening right now, because right now you guys can hear an outcry from outside the streets, and it sounds like the entire Thieves Guild is merging on the house at this point. What you've seen is your Loxodon friend go full on like Hulk and basically smash and slash this poor guy in half. Somebody got turned into a mouse and put into the bag of holding. When they took that damage, when Juniper took that damage, lost the concentration. So the guy inside the bag of holding has now reverted to his natural state and is currently suffocating inside the bag of holding. And the only person in the room right now with you is Treen, is this spellcaster's
Tiefling.
Yep.
I would like to cash in my plot point to make something true.
Okay, what are you doing?
I know people, and more importantly, I know people that don't want certain things about them made public. And
Okay.
I may or may not have influenced some prominent members of the Night's Watch to be here right now because the Thieves Guild was going to be conversing on this place for a massive raid on the Mass Lords of Waterdeep.
So you did what they did. They tipped off the City Watch, and now you've tipped off the City Watch. So outside of this guild right now, as about 30 members of the guild are converging in what would certainly be the death of all of you, City Watch has encountered them, and there is a clash in the streets right now in Waterdeep out front as chaos completely erupts in the trade ward, on the dock ward rather. People are clearing the streets, and you can hear the swords and shields clanging outside.
As all of that starts ringing out through here, I just look at the tiefling and I say, oh, they're playing the final notes. Won't be long now. And go after her with all 3 attacks, which the lowest is a 21.
Oh my God.
So, yep. Let's see here.
Okay, all 3 of those are going to hit.
Yep, and I rolled well on the first one here. Let's see. So that's 16, 19.
D&D Beyond told me this was a deadly encounter.
22 on the first hit, 22 points of damage.
But not for me.
It's true. 13 on the second hit, and 17 on the third hit. 22, 15, 17.
How does she die?
Same thing, just like, and as she's stumbling backwards, like she's about to cast a spell, I just say, you got greedy. Emotions make people sloppy, I guess.
You see the blade exit the inside of her collarbone, indicating that you probably pierced right through her heart, through her lungs, and up and out this base of her neck. You can hear the gurgling in her throat as her eyes widen for a second. As you pull the blade free, she is just a blanket. She just collapses in place.
Delightful factoid that I always have to share. The reason why an Ikwa is called an Ikwa, it is a Zulu weapon. It really exists. It was created by Shaka Zulu. And it is the sound you make when you use it on someone. It goes in and comes out. An Ikwa.
Nice.
Is that
like this or why?
Is that the short spear?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. I was very happy when they added that in 5th edition. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Right.
The outdoors has erupted into pure chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And any moment, it's going to spill into the room that you were all in. You have the teleportation circle to your left and the chest to your right. There are bodies all over the floor.
Can I pick up the chest? Because I count as twice my size for carrying things.
Anybody can pick it up.
I'm also pretty huge.
Literally, let me have this one thing.
All right, okay, all right.
I look at the circle and I say, well, friends, I believe literally anywhere is better than here.
I could also draw a hole in the ground. We could get out that way.
Then we'll be in the sewers. I'm glad that person didn't
I'll
work.
Swing my nose round. You're right. Okay.
Realizing that would be way steep for you. And
as I'm walking towards the teleportation circle, I just say, maybe we'll get lucky and there'll be more of them on the other side to execute.
All right.
So you all make your way into the teleportation circle?
Yeah.
I'm going to grab.
I still have like 45 seconds of giant size left, so I'm totally down. Let's go.
Circle. What's up, Juniper?
I'm going to grab the body of the spellcaster, because if what Haddix has done is make this seem like the Thieves Guild were about to act on the Lords of Waterdeep, having a bunch of unexplained dead bodies at the Thieves Guild could be a trouble, particularly if the leader were among them. It would make the conspiracy fall apart. So I take the leader. Sure. The leader might have sacrificed some of her own, but this way, everything is very clean. The Waterdeep City Guard is victorious once again.
When you all step into the teleportation circle, it's a tight fit to say the least, thanks to Druge as you all squeeze in there. But you see the runes begin to glow with this ambient purplish sort of arcane glow as it traces around all of you. About the time you all see the door opening to the front of the Thieves Guild, there's a wash of arcane energy that crashes over all of you. And yeah, the last thing they see is a middle finger sticking out as you just all vanish and you reappear. It happens all at once as you all reappear inside this next teleportation circle. Wherever the destination was, as the circle activates, as you utter the word that was written in script on the wall, as you appear inside of a teleportation circle, and from the sound of it, mid-conversation of somebody speaking, you find yourselves in a very large room filled with rows and rows of tables. And each table, immediately, what captures your attention is every table has wondrous items all over them. Jewels, objects, artifacts, incredible pieces of work, art, and whatnot. But what gets your attention is the 6-foot-tall man that was standing in the corner, who was in the middle of a conversation with a very large beholder with purplish bluish skin off the top of his head and a large lip ring encompassing this huge mouth as he's in the middle of this conversation. And both of them stop in mid-conversation as they turn. And this beholder, that huge eye with the reptilian slit, just kind of angles over to all of you as the beholder swivels and sees all of you. Every one of you knows this is Xanathar. Everyone knows exactly who this is the moment you see it. And in a voice that's very similar to, say, Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors, you hear this beholder, this legendary creature say, so you brought me my ring of 3 wishes and a corpse.
You know, we felt this would be the best way to introduce ourselves. We are in need of a new organization to join.
Well then, do come in and let's discuss the rest of your lives.
Like hoist the chest on my shoulders, walk in like we own the place.
And that is where we leave the story of the Coppers and a night of pure revenge. And if I may just say so, whenever I think of this game, I'm going to hear the theme song to a certain Tarantino movie.
Mm-hmm. Well, we only venged. We venged.
Right.
One per each of us.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it mathed out. Chat will have to check us on it, but I'm pretty
This
sure
was
the math
absolutely an Inglourious Bastards episode. There's no question.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about using the plot point, I was like, secondary plot point, I was like, do I have a vial of Greek fire to just burn this mother grabber to the ground? I'm like, no, wait.
Wait for it.
Yeah. No.
We saved it for the sequel.
That's gonna do it for our one shot, y'all. We got Jason back next week. But thank you for playing this bizarre and hilarious, like just goofy execution after goofy execution of bad guys at the entire thing.
It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah. It was good. I'm gonna have highlights for this one for a while. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Thank you, Sam Delev, for joining us.
Oh yes, very much. Many thanks. Many thanks.
Thank you.
Let's go around the table real quick and tell everybody where you can find, and then we'll jump out. So Sam, let's start with you.
Yes, I'm Sam Delev. I'm a role-playing performer and variety streamer throughout the Twitchernet. You can usually find me alongside that Eric Campbell right there. And the schedule for all of my shenanigans is on my Twitch about page, twitch.tv/Delevely, Delevely. And all of my one-offs on my Twitter at Tchaikovsky, ChaiKovsky. Please go check out Q Time's channel in an hour, where we will be doing the season finale of Power Play. I'm sure it will be just as smooth and just as uneventful as this.
Yes.
Underground King Rick Bud.
Adriana?
Hey, hi, my name is Adriana Cazador. You can find me online at Adriosa or Adriosa Gaming. I play all sorts of fun D&D, TTRPG stuff. However, on my own channel, I play just mostly video games. However, my chat unlocked during a charity stream. They unlocked a D&D one-shot where I'm going to DM finally on my channel. That's going to be in the works in the next month or so. So finally, I can start doing D&D stuff on my channel.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's me.
Sweet. How about you, B Dave?
Dave Walters, I say words about things. You can find me all over the interwebs, over fine streaming content can be located. Very happy to be back with my dearest bromigo Sam today, doing a murders. Tuesday, Heroes of the Plane, Demi playing Twitch. Wednesday, Champions of Lore, C&E Games Twitch. Thursday, Black Dice Society at 4, D&D Twitch and YouTube. And just follow me on the tweetagrams for all the individual stuff in between. Thanks for tuning in, and thank you, Eric, for letting us get revenge.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was so fun.
Yeah, I'm 16-Bit Eric. You can find me across all social platforms at 16-Bit Eric. You can find me and the rest of the Stream Punks on Mondays over at the Q Time Switch when we're playing Star Trek at 6:30 p.m. PST. We're playing Clear Skies this coming Monday, and then after that, Eliza Pearl, who you saw in the first half of the game, takes over as GM and is running a all Klingon campaign with a whole new group. So check that out. That's the last Monday of every month, so definitely check it out. And thanks for letting me. Thank you again. This is the second time you've let me take over the GM's chair of the GaryCon Live. So thank you, Luke, for that. And unless you have anything, Luke?
Well, I'm Luke Gygax, and thank you, Eric. You did an admirable job, I think. I enjoyed playing, so thank you so much. I thought you did a great job. I was fortunate to be born one of the children of Mary and Gary Gygax, so I've been gaming all of my life. I don't remember a time not gaming. But primarily, I am a soldier and currently a California Army National Guardsman, fighting fires and supporting civil support for the COVID battles and all that sort of good stuff. So please keep that in mind for your neighbors who may be in your local, state National Guard. Give them a, shake their hand, say thanks, whatever it is. I'm sure we all enjoy serving, but it's nice to hear it on occasion. It's been a very, very busy time. And I would encourage you, hopefully this is not too political, to consider getting vaccinated and to please, not resist wearing a mask and that sort of stuff as a minimum to help protect all of us. We need to knock this stuff out. It impacts all of us. So that's my feelings on it. Obviously,
You're being very diplomatic. I don't care about your feelings. Get the vaccine, wear a mask. Medically, you can't get the vaccine. That's the thing. You can wear a mask.
You make it easier on life of people like Luke who are putting themselves out there and doing the good work for every. So please, for the love of God, for Luke, wear a mask.
That was very, very, very kind of you, Baron von Gygax. Man, I don't care about your feelings.
We would all appreciate it. It's I think important, and sometimes people insert other politics or crazy stories into it or whatever. Just do it for the right reasons and help everybody out. It's a team sport. We're all working towards the same thing, and to crush this out and to get back to life as normal. I love to see people and enjoy conventions and other gatherings. So let's all try to get back towards that. This is fantastic doing the streaming stuff, but I really want to see people in person and be able to do it more. So please help us all out to do that. And that's my pitch. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Catch you next time.
We're raiding that bronze girl, raiding bronze.
Yeah, let's do it. Say hi to Jasmine.
All right. Thank you.